In terms of shooting percentage, Michael Jordan has had better games. But when you consider at age 35, the games he's played this year, the grinding minutes he's played, and Scottie Pippen being all but incapacitated tonight, and the fact that they're on the road, and the fact that the odds would shift to Utah's favor for a Game 7, yes, MJ rose again. He no longer needs accomplishments to prove his case as the greatest player in NBA history. He just adds to it. And if this is the final chapter, what a way to close the book.
I tell you, Bob, as you look at Scottie Pippen there, I remember all Scottie ever heard about was the migraine headache and that he couldn't play with pain. Well, today, they could not have won this game without him. Just his presence being out there. He made some big shots. He fed the post. He did all the little things for Chicago, and his numbers aren't going to show it. But Michael, once again, with the heroics, the unbelievable plays. But his sidekick, Scottie Pippen, was there for him when he needed him.
And I'm watching Michael Jordan hug his mother right there. Such a great player, such a great person. Everything that this game is about, the goodness of it, he represents, and what he's done for the game of basketball and for this Chicago Bulls organization. All of us as former athletes are very thankful to 23 in red.
Michael Jordan is as great a competitor as sports has ever seen. He also has an uncanny sense of theater. And as he makes his decision, he'll think about the fact that he could not ask for a better punctuation than this. He accepts a victory cigar from Jerry Reinsdorf to not only hit the winning basket, but have it be the last shot he takes this season, maybe the last he'll ever take in a Chicago Bulls uniform, to win the game and the championship by a point.
You know, Bob, it's interesting about Michael Jordan. He's a guy who has nothing to prove, but lives his life every day as if he has everything to prove. That's something about his greatness. He's an unbelievable athlete.
One more look at a shot you'll be seeing hundreds of times if you're a basketball fan. You'll see it dozens of times on the highlight shows tonight. Stockton gets rid of it. It's short. Harper had a hand in his face and maybe even got a small piece of the ball.
I thought Stockton had a great look right there. It was a well-executed play. Stockton and Malone, and that's who you want taking your last shot, because he's made so many big shots for Utah. You know, my heart goes out to Stockton and Malone, because those two, more than any other two athletes in this era, really deserve a shot at wearing a championship ring.
A shot can hardly come much closer than that without going in. For the celebration, here's Dan Roberts, the PA man.
And now, please direct your attention to center court for the presentation of the 1998 NBA Finals MVP and the Larry O'Brien Championship Trophy.
It is now time to make the 1998 Championship Trophy presentation. Joining me up here are the chairman, Jerry Reinsdorf, Vice President Jerry Krause, head coach Phil Jackson, and to make that presentation, here's the commissioner of the NBA, Mr. David Stern.
The two best teams in the NBA this season were the Utah Jazz and the Chicago Bulls. These two teams in these finals, wonderfully matched and motivated, treated the world of basketball to NBA basketball at its heart-stopping best. To both teams, thank you. But to the Chicago Bulls, the 1998 NBA champion, and a team for the ages, congratulations to this team, to this organization, to its fans, and to these great players.
All right, Mr. Reinsdorf. Chicago Bulls fans all over the world would like to know, are you going to do everything you can possible to bring these guys back here to try to do this all over again?
Well, let me first, Ahmad, say that on behalf of millions of Bulls fans all around the world, it's an honor to accept this trophy. It's only unfortunate that we can't have co-champions, because this Utah Jazz team is just the greatest team that we've ever played. 2 years in a row, they took us as far as you could take anybody. Winning six championships in 8 years is unbelievable. It's a tribute to a great coach and his staff, great players, Scotty and Michael, an unbelievable performance by Scotty and Payne tonight. Jerry Krause and his staff, just unbelievable. And on behalf of millions of Bulls fans all over the world, I can only hope and pray that Michael and Scotty will come back and defend the championship one more time.
I take that as a yes. You are going to try to bring them back. Jerry Krause, you have to be very proud of this team.
I'm so proud of these players and the staff. And this is for the fans back in Chicago, the greatest sports fans in the world. And we're just so happy. We're going to celebrate safe, guys, and we'll be home tomorrow morning.
All right, Jerry, let me ask you, you do everything you can to bring these guys back.
Well, you know, tonight all I want to do is celebrate and have fun, and we're going to talk later on. But this is a great occasion. And what Jerry said about the Utah club, Jerry Sloan and Scotty Layden are special people, and this is just a great organization, and it's somebody that you're proud of that you can be with.
All right, Jerry, let's talk to Phil Jackson.
Yes, Ahmad.
Yes, once again, another journey to the top of the mountain. How is this one different from the other 5?
Well, Ahmad, we had to fight our way through this one. This is a real struggle for us this year against overwhelming odds. Maybe not as talented as the last 2 years, but they had a great heart. Hearts of a champion, as Michael has said. They won it.
All right, you will celebrate tonight. Are you going to come back?
Gee, that's a great question, Ahmad. I'll dodge that one right now. Thanks.
All right, Phil. All right, once again, it is now time for the 1998 NBA Finals Most Valuable Player Award. And once again, here's the Commissioner, David Stern.
Big surprise. 6 championships, 6 MVPs. Michael Jordan, get over here. You grace us with your presence. You've contributed mightily to our league. And tonight you gave one of the singular performances in the history of the NBA Finals. Thank you and congratulations, 1998 NBA Finals MVP, Michael Jordan.
Michael, you have won this award before, but somehow I have the feeling that this one is more special than all of them.
Well, let me say hello to my wife and my kids at home, because they desperately wanted to come. I didn't want them to come here today because I wanted to focus on the game, but I wish they were here to help me celebrate. I know they're there cheering, and I can't wait to get home. But to the Utah fans, you guys are a tough bunch to play in front of. You guys came out with a lot of loyalty and respect for your team. You made it really tough for us. We really, after losing Game 5 in Chicago, a couple of us dread coming back to Utah because we had to deal with the fans because of the energy that they bring to the game. But we had no choice, so we had to come in and play our best, and you guys made it a very competitive finals, and you know, it's very worthy to win this, and I think of all the championships that we've won, this is the toughest.
It doesn't get any easier, but at the beginning of the season, this was the goal that you set out for. How wonderful was it to make this into a reality?
Well, I tell you, when you start the season, I'm pretty sure every team next year is going to start with the focus of finishing and winning their last game. We started with that focus. It was a long road, a lot of different tasks and little bumps in the road, but somehow we made it, and I think everybody who looks at this year is going to have a lot of gratification and understanding and a lot of dedication.
There were a lot of times during the course of the season that people doubted the Chicago Bulls, doubted that you'd be able to come back and pull this off. Even during this finals series here, people doubted you. How did you guys stay so confident?
Well, I mean, this team is one. Our leadership is strong. Our leadership is very positive, very determined, and it filters down to the rest of the players. And we never let anybody give up. You know, we believed in it, and we kept coming for it.
All right, I've asked everybody if they're all going to come around to try to do this again. One more time?
I would love for that to happen. I think that's something that's got to have to be determined over the summer.
All right. Congratulations, Michael. Congratulations, Chicago Bulls. Let's go over to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Ahmad. Tonight, one of the truly gutty performances in the finals by Scottie Pippen. Scottie, how badly were you hurt during this game?
I was hurting pretty bad, you know, to start the game off. I was able to get a dunk when I came down. The pain just sort of built from that point, and every time I tried to run, I was getting spasms. But I knew I wanted to come back and try to give a better performance in the second half, so I just tried to take advantage of that little bit of time before the half and, you know, see what I can do. And I came out the second half, and Chip wanted to give me a little treatment, and I took the treatment, and I told him from there I was going to just try to gut it out. You know, I felt like that my presence out on the floor would mean more than just sitting in the locker room.
Initially, you didn't think you could come back, and then the miracle happened there at halftime. How much did you revert back to some of the things that had happened to you in the past, and you knew that if you gutted it out this time that it could change all of that?
Well, I knew I was going to come back the second half. I have to correct you on that. I knew, but I just didn't know how much I was going to be able to give. I knew I wanted to just hope that the team could stay in the game, keep it close, and if I could come back out, let my presence be known out on the court.
Now, Scotty, you were in tears after the game. Was this your most difficult championship, and why the tears this time? Is it maybe because you feel it's ending?
Well, I think they all have brought tears to my eyes, but this one's so difficult because, you know, I felt like to some degree without me being out on the court that I was kind of letting the team down, and they understood, but, you know, I wanted to be there. I wanted to be a present. I wanted to play a major role in the game, but the other guys came off the bench, held us in there the first half, especially Michael. He had a heck of a game, and, you know, everything else is history.
Now, you hold the key here to these teams returning. Michael said if you come back, he'll come back, and Phil and so forth. What are your thoughts? Will you come back? Would you take a one-year deal? What will go through your thought process in making this determination?
Well, Jim, right now I just have to, you know, let everything soak in. You know, there's a lot of opportunities out there for me, and, you know, I have to look more down the road at my future, but, you know, I don't know. You know, after all this soaks in and get back and get my back on track, you know, you never know.
Is there a twinge of sadness with you, a little melancholy feeling right now that it may be ending?
Excuse me?
Are you feeling a little sad right now that this could be coming to a close?
No, not really. You know, we're going to enjoy this, and, you know, as long as we can. You know, as a player right now, I don't feel like it's over. You know, we got a lot of celebration to do, and I'm not really looking forward to next season right now.
Final thought, the Utah Jazz and Karl Malone, a spectacular effort. What would your thoughts be toward them?
It was great. You know, Karl and John, you know, they're some gutty performers. What is Hornacek, Russell, who's grown and matured and, you know, had a fabulous series. You know, we take our hats off to this team. The fans here have really came out and made us work hard. You know, it was a great series. You know, it was a even better series than last series, even though, you know, both series ended at 6 games. This topped it all.
Scotty, congratulations. A truly gutsy performance.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back now to Bob Costas.
Thanks, Jim. To back up the accolades offered to Karl Malone by Scottie Pippen, Malone had 31 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists in 43 minutes tonight. And even as they could not stop Scottie and Michael from claiming another title, Malone managed to average 25 points and 10.5 rebounds in the series. We'll talk with Karl Malone when we come back after this from your local station.
Here at NBC, our research says
it's the best one on the lot for me. I mean,
and his 3-day-old daughter is going to be able to. It's a good thing I played football. Here's Michael.
Congratulations, Michael. Easy, guys.
Congratulations, buddy. There he is, right there. There's the. It's a rugby scrum.
This is unbelievable.
This is a rugby scrum.
Tim,
all right, take it easy.
We got to fight. Easy, guys.
This is a rugby scrum. Hang in there, Chuck.
Hey, where you going? Tim, you still with me?
I'm still with you.
This is not exactly like the United Center, the tunnel down there. We do have a.
Bulls and the media still jammed here.
Mark, it's probably calmer here in the city of Chicago than it is outside the locker room.
How many salespeople?
I would think so, but you have to expect this with over 1,400 media types. I never heard this, but the chair is here. They can for a reaction. Luke said this was the most.
You get $100.
Late in the game, and I see Scotty Burrell, first championship for him.
Good fight, Mike. It was good fun. All right, congratulations.
Buen amigo. Form with required documentation.
Last dance, okay.
And yeah, you remember what Jerry Reinsdorf said, and the whole city and the entire nation are going to hold him to it.
Part tonight to come out in the second.
Incredible scene. The guy just went back right past me a moment ago. Dennis.
It's Miller time. Miller Lite wants to remind.
Dennis in just a moment. Oh, Dennis is running like, uh-oh. Here comes Dennis. Doesn't look like he wants to talk to anyone right now. Oh, wow. An unbelievably poor display right here. someone threw Coke in Dennis Rodman's face. Wow. Dennis Rodman being distrained right now by some of his people that work with him. I don't think, Dennis, we really want to hear what he's saying right now because this is not nice. Folks, we're going to have a ton of coverage here in this postgame. Every single thing will be uncovered. We're going to talk to Dennis. We'll talk to Michael. We'll do everything, and we'll do it the right way. Folks, it's going to be a lot of fun here. Hopefully, things will get a lot better than this scene we just saw right here. But now let's go back to Chet and Norm.
To get to the top of this mountain.
Well, I'm not a quitter. I just got
that should anything.
It's a tough one. It's a tough loss. Give them credit. They won. You know, what else can you say?
Do you feel as though this was Michael Jordan's last game?
I don't know. I don't know if it was Michael's last game or not.
Scottie Pippen in tears over here. You're not sure about Michael Jordan. What did Scottie just say to you?
Oh, no, he just told me good game.
Well, you're a class act. Congratulations on a great season.
Thank you.
Among the many things you can say in praise of Karl Malone, he has never ducked the media. Win or lose, he is always there to stick his chin out.
Basketball. Whatever.
Got to go be treated for a soft drink can to the head. Phil Jackson was saying in the previous games that Utah fans were pelting them with coins. I can't believe that. You know, these Utah folks are supposed to be nice, gentle people.
Mark, it was really interesting, too. Dennis Rodman was very angry about it.
For a roll. He made a great.
He was about to do a free throw or something, and he was the only one who was protesting.
Carl never saw him. Right. And then from there, it looked pretty much throughout the game. When he realized Scottie Pippen couldn't play, it was like, I've got to take it over and carry the team offensively. And what I liked about him, if you notice in the game, his space. He seemed like he was always comfortable, so he was looking forward to getting that shot.
People are now talking about what about next year? Are you coming back? Would you like to get everybody back together?
I would love to come back to Chicago. I mean, Chicago gave me my break. And, you know, I'd love to be back if they want me back, but we'd like to get the whole nucleus back and form a team and get one last dance.
Dennis, you had a great season. Congratulations to a great champion.
Yes, everybody in Dallas. Way to go, baby.
All right, back to you, Bob.
Ahmad, thanks very much. Much more to come. On the postgame show, we'll go into the locker rooms when we come back to the Delta Center in Salt Lake City right after this. In 6 games, a 6th championship for the Chicago Bulls.
But it's going to come down to business.
The outcome is going to be Phil is going to have the same amount of leverage. He's a
I think all the players are inside. We will effort to get inside as soon as they allow us to do that, and we'll be back with
Robin.
Oh, folks, I tell you, Jackie's down there on the ground, but we can give you a perspective here. This is just a one-block section of division, the infamous Russian division area where people always go to watch the game, that has since filled up and doubled in people since the game has ended. Jackie has told you that earlier, but really, since we got here about 20 minutes ago, the street is flooded, and this is just a one-block stretch of division that is blocked.
With that, Hornacek, key shots first half. Second half.
I'm not on Division Street. I'm on top of one of our minicamp trucks, which is probably the smartest place to be tonight. We feel.
Win one of 8 vacations. It's all.
Jackson could just go fishing next year, stay up in Montana, take the year off he's always wanted.
No car traffic, and the crowd continues to get bigger, but no arrest. It's like, what can you say at this point? These people and their expressions and their jumping around says it all out here, Byron. They are celebrating this victory that Luke Longley said was the hardest to get, and I imagine was the hardest for fans, particularly because this entire area was vacant outside of media less than 3 hours.
And now look at, now the crowd seems to be going in waves. I'm going to stoop down again so you can see the whole crowd. They'll all of a sudden start cheering, and you'll hear it go throughout the entire crowd, and then all of a sudden it'll be quiet. And I consider it kind of quiet right now, even though what you're seeing is a mass of people, but...
Company.
This. Or had to listen to.
A new addition as far as the police presence go. It's way off in the distance on the west side, on the Dearborn side. That is a police.
NBC Wednesdays.
As we return to the Delta Center, we're waiting to get access to the locker rooms, and in the meantime, let's go to the Showtime crew headed by Hannah Storm. Happy birthday, by the way, Hannah.
Thanks a lot, Bob. I think that was a very important detail we needed to cover at this point. But we'll get some final thoughts from you, Doug, and Isaiah in just a few moments. First, though, we have Peter Vesey, John Sally, and Bill Walton. And, Bill, this championship, not just for the
Sunday night, tomorrow's a work day. There was a little bit of rain earlier, and I think that the elements were perfect. The game was out of town. I think you had a few hundred party goers, and a few hundred more have joined them since then. We can only presume that they'll party for a while longer. Jim Maurer, the police.
There's a lot of clapping going on, a lot of moaning going on, but of course, when Michael Jordan pulled off that last shot at the end, all of that went out the window. These people became very, very excited. Let's find out exactly what do you think about tonight's incredible win.
The win was just wonderful. I knew we was going to take this in 6. It was a long haul to this big victory that we have in Chicago. Go Chicago, success, yes!
Yeah! What about you? What did you think about this incredible win?
I knew at the last 5 seconds we were going to make the ball that mattered. 6?
The Bulls, Dorothy. The Bulls.
Thank you. Yes, I'm going to win my $1,000 now. Yeah, go Bulls!
I think the thing here that was interesting tonight is that people
Co-MVP.
Jordan with the...
Cheryl, this is really a wonderful way to do it because everyone knows exactly what to expect. Like you say, it's a familiar...
Jordan to drive, hangs, fires, scores! He scores! The Bulls lead 87-86 with 5 and 2/10.
It just took the wind out of that.
We'll be seeing that, I think, a million times in the next few days.
Why couldn't they win at home so that these people could party right? Bob Jordan is at the 50-yard line.
Well, at this point, we're going to...
Tough shots at this, but I think this man has stepped up to...
Jim Gray. Jim?
All right, thank you very much, Ann. I'm now joined by Tony Kukoc and Ron Harper. Harp, let's start with you. You weren't feeling very good tonight, but you managed to play. How difficult was it for you out there?
Well, I had a tough half, I think. But the main thing was that we had guys that came in and played big. We had guys that made real key shots. We had some good defensive plays late in the ball game. And this was great. This was a great win for our team. Our hats off to the Jazz and their fans. It was a great series, and I'm happy it's over.
Can you describe for us, please, as a teammate, your thoughts on the performance of Scottie Pippen?
Oh, Scottie Pippen was courageous today. You know, he definitely didn't feel well, and I definitely knew that, and our teammate knew, and we lost him early during the half, but he came out in the last quarter and just played big for our basketball team, and he made some real key shots for us.
He went to put the champagne.
Harp, TK, you made the biggest shots for us.
Well, let's ask him. Tony, how sweet is this one compared to the others as you're now being doused with champagne as we all are in here?
This is the sweetest one. This is the toughest one that we got so far, but it's the sweetest one. Especially before early in the series, they said we are underdogs. When we lost the last game in Chicago, they said we have no chance coming in here, but we're still the champs.
You managed to step up your performance in this championship series. You've taken a lot of criticism. How personally satisfying is it for you to have that now behind you?
It's very satisfying for me. That's the way we Croatians are as survivors. And we're trying to do the same thing, just trying to play my best every time I step on the court.
You are one of the few guys who definitely will be back here next year. What are your thoughts on this team remaining intact?
If I can, if it's my decision, I will leave this team until it dies. I mean,
you think that will happen?
It's a great team. I hope it does. I hope it does. There's no reason to split the team that is winning, that is doing an incredible job on the court.
Phil closed the locker room here for about 7 minutes. What was it that he said to you guys as you all huddled together privately?
Nothing. It was just our own celebration.
What now? What do you think the timetable will be? There's a possible lockout looming now. What do you think the timetable will be for the return of Phil Jackson and then Michael and Scottie?
Nothing we can do. Just wait and hope that it's going to end up being good.
Tony, congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
All right, now let's send it back outside to Bob Costas.
Come on.
Jim, thanks again. There's more to come from Salt Lake City. We'll have more interviews and a look back at this Bulls dynasty when the postgame show rolls on after this.
Fortunately, with him, it's never been that way.
And sit back and dig it. There is your.
And as we showed you before, this.
And if he says Scotty and Phil come back, then.
From Ron Harper, as you can see, answering questions a few feet away. Let me see if I can get around the fence here. Can I just step over there, sir?
As you can go.
As far as I can go. How about right there? This guy's right here.
As far as you go, right here.
Want to say hi to people in Chicago real quick? Thanks, John. Okay, good, beautiful.
Hey, we had key guys that definitely stepped up big. MJ performance was a great performance, but my hat goes off to Scottie Pippen, who stepped in, made key steals, played big, and even though his back was hurting, he kept on playing. I don't care about me. I don't care about my boy Scotty, and I want him to feel good, and I want Chicago to feel good.
And Ron, with all
how
that adversity,
you guys are always able to pull that out, and that's kind of the sign of this team, isn't it? We have a very big encouraging team. Our team played with heart tonight, and we came out today, and somehow we hung in the ball game, and I think that was the key.
That's number 6. What are you
going to say to Jerry Reinsdorf to make 7 a shot? Hey, if Jerry don't know about that, he will never know if he don't want this team to
How sick were you tonight before the game?
I was. Well, put it like this. If it was a season game, I'd have stayed in bed.
With you sick and Pip having the problems you had, did you ever think you had a chance? I mean, really, the way the game was progressing.
We
Room again, Ahmad Rashad.
All right, thanks, Bob. Now, you talk about the big three of the Chicago Bulls. This is the big three right here. Steve, Judd, and Bill. No, here they are. These guys, now, what kind of a run was that for you guys this year?
Fantastic. I mean, you can't put it into words. I mean, it was a great time all year long. To end up like this, it's going to be an awfully fun summer.
And, Judge, you had such big moments in this final series. You kept telling me during the whole season, didn't he, that at halftime Phil kept saying, get the ball to Buechler.
That's the goal, but for some reason it ends up in Michael's hands. I don't know what to do about that.
It's ridiculous. Yes. And how was Steve? You took a beating tonight. I saw you do a pick. You got knocked down, then stepped on, and kept coming.
I always take a beating, Ahmad. That's the story of my career, but I'm just so happy to be a part of this. I mean, we just hopped on Michael's back, basically. The guy is a basketball god, and I'm glad he's on my team.
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of guys don't realize that this is one of the closest knit teams that I've ever been around. Watching you guys over the past couple of years, they talk about Michael, Scotty, Dennis, but you guys are really a close knit group.
We definitely are, and what a lot of people don't know is that we were Siamese triplets at birth, and we were separated about 2 months old. And we really are. We really are close. We're having a lot of fun. And I must remark that, Ahmad, you are wearing a beautiful suit
Randy
today.
Brown.
Randy Brown.
How you doing?
I'm talking about.
How you keep your eyes on? Oh, my God.
A little love.
How you keep your eyes on?
I love the sting.
You know, I wouldn't have ordered his raincoat if it was Dom Perignon, but that's cheap champagne.
Why is it so cheap?
I'm wondering that myself.
It has the same.
Now you keep your eyes.
How you keep your eyes open through
First
this?
ring, baby. My first one. It feels great, baby. It feels great, baby.
It's Bud Light. That's an awesome job of keeping your eyes open through this ordeal.
That's the end of this. I'm through with this. Let's go back to Hannah. Hannah?
Ahmad, I think you made yourself a target wearing that rain suit down there, but showing remarkable composure. Third NBA title for Bush.
We want to let our viewers know, by the way, that after the special broadcast, we will be bringing you Inside Edition. And after that broadcast, we will air the movie Nowhere to Hide in its entirety. Of course, we interrupted that movie because of the Bulls' win.
Celebrations. John Davis, I think we're in touch with you now.
Yes, you
downtown.
Well, the crowd, of course, has continued to build here at State and Division. We've got a great crowd of folks who've just simply walked in from the neighborhood around here. And one of the persons who walked up to me a few moments ago is Ann Moran. And, John, if you'll come down here, Ann Moran came all the way from Houston, Texas.
Thank you, Coach Sloan.
He is a man who defines the word.
That before his great career.
Not around. How's it gonna
Well, as Phil Jackson told us earlier tonight, the Bulls have given us a remarkable story, and if indeed this is it for Michael Jordan and this incarnation of the Chicago Bulls, at least tonight they authored an ending of their own choosing. Let's see.
This was a pretty good suit, shirt, and tie that I had anyway. We're going to have a lot more fun when we get in the locker room and see Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. And I especially want to talk to Scottie Pippen because I really do want to find out if this was his last game as a Chicago Bull and a last game in this uniform. He played very, very well. Back was all injured and everything. But the Bulls win their 6th championship. I'm happy. Does it look all right?
JR, you look mighty GQ for us.
I guess he was going to wear the old suit for Game 7.
JR has been there for every championship.
Stockton hitting it.
Keep surviving. Back to you now, Barr.
I think that was Diana Ross, and she's singing the blues.
Yeah, she is, but Phil Jackson is not singing the blues. He's thrilled. Let's see what he has to say.
That's rough duty down there.
And he owes Bill a new suit as well. We understand the coach is...
They put up a heck of a fight, and it was a fight worth having. I know they're not disappointed because they went down with a struggle and they went down playing the way they play.
Okay, we'll take questions.
Yeah.
You ready? You.
Phil, there have been reports in Seattle, Denver, and LA that all those teams want to talk to you as soon as your season's over. If they approach you, will you have conversations with them?
I think they want to congratulate me on the 6th championship, and I'll accept those calls. Thanks.
Congratulations. Could you just talk about them opting to single-team Jordan when he hit the game-winning shot with 6 seconds to go?
Well, they're so effective with us having Michael on the post. They came from the blind side. They were able to snipe with Stockton down there. We just put him out on the...
Jazz, Noble runners-up 2 years in a row, are personified by the longest tenured coach in the league and 2 Hall of Famers who have been teammates for well over a decade. We'll see championship teams in the future, but will we see teams that endure this way? And as for Michael Jordan, all the superlatives have been exhausted and almost all apply. But perhaps the most important one is this: he's authentic. His essence is so much deeper than image. In fact, the image is, in his case, an amplification of something true and substantive. Take all the money, all the adulation, all the TV cameras away, and put Michael Jordan in a gym somewhere with Russell and Oscar, West and the Doctor, and he'd be as genuine and as much in his element as any of them. His heart and his athletic integrity every bit as impressive as his artistry. So whenever it ends, it's been an incredible ride for Jordan and the Bulls, and we at NBC have been privileged to be taken along for that ride. So as we say goodnight, we'd like to acknowledge the work of all the people who made these telecasts possible. For everyone at NBC Sports, good night from Salt Lake City.
Michael, in comparing this feeling each, where is this feeling at all a little more bittersweet?
To Michael Jordan.
Of a very special era?
Well, I think it's bittersweet in the sense that it was the toughest route, the toughest challenge that we've had in the 6 championships that we've won. In some people's eyes, no one expected us to fulfill this, and that was part of the challenge. You know, and in the 5 before that, everybody predicted us in some respects, and it was a hands-down situation. Here, it wasn't. You know, and we had to do it against a team that, you know, played well all season long, played at home, had a crowd that was really energetic and kept them motivated, and you know, we lost our opportunities to win it at home, and we came here, and at first, you know, as soon as the games ended in Chicago, it was some dim feelings and some negative thoughts, you know, and as time went past, I think everybody realized that you know, if we want that 6th title, we have to go through Utah to get it, you know, and we have to go out there and win it out there. So, I mean, you know, I think those negative thoughts erased very quickly, you know, and it's a great day for everybody, I think.
Michael, few people in the world face retirement with so many others caring about the decision that he makes. You mean so much to so many people, to the league, to the other players, to the networks, even to the economy. How do you make the right decision for Michael Jordan, the human being, independent of all of the other people and forces that are tugging on you?
Es el día previo al encuentro Inglaterra-Túnez. Es la violencia.
You know, when I walked away the first time, it was a feeling. Someone told me. When I came back, it was a feeling. You know, if and when that time comes where I got to walk away, I hope that because I walked away, no one look at me any less. You know, and sure, the economy may take a different turn, but I would advise you to invest wisely. And you know, my life has to continue. You know, hopefully I'll put enough memories out there for everybody to at least have some thoughts about what Michael Jordan did in his 13 years or 14 years or whatever it takes, and put some comparisons up there for kids to follow and compare themselves and reach, you know, and that's a part of the challenge. And, you know, I have another life, and I know I have to get to it, you know, at some point in time, and hopefully the fans and the people understand that.
Michael, you said last week that this was the toughest year for Coach Jackson as a coach. What about you as a player?
It was tough. You know, I was more competitive than I ever was because I wanted to
make sure people are just not his night.
In the road, you know, Scotty being out, you know, Dennis, you know, had to step up, and every now and then we had to, you know, deal with Dennis and deal with the different types of expectations, you know, some of the, you know, criticism about our team and the lifestyle that we live, and you know, it's bearing on it just takes its toll on an individual, you know, and sure, we just have to keep looking at the bigger picture, you know, which is tonight. It's the biggest picture we could think of, and sure, sometimes the pictures don't look so clearly, but if you keep moving in the right direction, it's going to clear itself up, and tonight is very, very clear.
Michael, you just won your 6th championship with Scotty and Coach Jackson. As a man who lives as a player who lives of challenges, how much is a challenge is it for you to win one without them?
Pretty sure it's a major challenge, you know. But the question is, do I want to do that or not? You know, that's the things that has to be debated over the summer.
Michael, how frustrating it is, or at least annoying, to have to talk that much about your future tonight?
Say that again?
How frustrating, or at least annoying, is it to have to talk that much about your future and the future of the team tonight?
It's not annoying. I mean, most people have been waiting for that, and you know, my answer, I mean, it's still a lot of unanswered questions, and tonight is a lot of sympathetic feelings.
Correspondiente al Grupo H de la Copa del Mundo, Francia.
We want it to go, but as time, you know, it gets involved. I mean, some of the feelings may change. You never know, but
back into the studio now.
Waiting to the end of the summer, or in the summer, and making final decisions.
Michael, the other night, you seemed so intrigued by the thought of, you know, dropping the last 3 and possibly walking away. The fact that you played such a great last minute and had a game-winning shot, title-winning shot, is that going to, you know, do you like the idea of going out that way?
Yes, if that's the case, yes. I mean, when I got that rebound, sure, I mean, my thoughts are very positive, you know, and the crowd gets quiet. The moment starts to become the moment, you know, for me, you know, and that's what we've been, you know, that's part of that Zen Buddhism stuff, you know, the moment once you get in the moment, you know when you're there, things start to move slowly, you start to see the court very well, you start reading what the defenses are trying to do, and I saw that moment, and, you know, when I saw the moment, the opportunity to take advantage of it, when Russell reached, and I took advantage of that moment, and I never doubted myself. I never doubted the whole game. We were hanging too close. You know, it was a 3-point game, 4-point game, 5-point game. You know, Scottie Pippen's hurt. Dennis and everybody's in foul trouble, and they never really burst out and left us standing. You know, and you know, we kept hanging in there, and I knew that we were going to have an opportunity to win this game, and I just wanted to be able to do that. And from an offensive standpoint, sure, you look at my rebounds. I only had maybe 2 or 3 rebounds, and I told Phil that, you know, I know I'm going to have to play a lot of minutes. I have to conserve energy somewhere, and unfortunately, I had to be on the rebounding edge, and you know, but the offense, I had to step forward.
Okay, last question for Michael.
Michael, after John hit that three-pointer, you scored the last 4 points. You actually scored the last 8, but you scored the last 4 on baskets. Talk about those last 2 baskets, your layup, and then the jumper. And did that jumper remind you of last year, Game 1, with Brian guarding you? He reached, you went.
It was in a very similar situation. The play before that was, you know, with Karl Malone. We've been trying to double team him. And Hornacek was trying to, I guess, pick Karl Malone, and he never really cleared, which gave me an opportunity to go back. And Karl never saw me coming, and I was able to knock the ball away. The play before that was when Phil called, you know, an isolation play for me, you know, to take it to the hole and make him foul me or get an easy basket, which is what I did. But you know, when I got the ball, I looked up and I saw 18.5 seconds left, you know, and I felt like we couldn't call a timeout because it gave defenses an opportunity to set up, you know, and it was a do-or-die situation. So I let the time tick to where I felt like I had the court right where I wanted to, and Stockton was on the right-hand side with Steve Kerr. I knew he couldn't gamble because Steve has killed him before. So, I mean, and as soon as Russell reached, you know, he gave me a clear lane, which, you know, I made my initial drive, and, you know, he bid on it, and I stopped, pulled up, and I had an easy jump shot. Great look, and you know, it went in, and once it went in, I knew from that point on we've been hanging around long enough. This is a game-winning basket. Now it's just a matter of playing solid defense, and our defense has held us strong all series, and we would never be in this scenario without our defense. So all we had to do was play defense for 5.8 minutes, 5.8 seconds, and I knew we can do that.
Okay. Thank you, Michael. Next up, we'll have.
I don't think you'll ever hear or see Michael Jordan so emotionally drained as tonight.
He was kind of tired and didn't sound good about his return, but you never read this guy too carefully. I mean, he's tough to follow, so he may be back. Or
team will be back, and in what form it will be back.
He's a politician. You know, Michael always says the right thing.
Exactly.
Perfect timing.
Scottie Pippen now, as we understand it, on the podium. Let's go back out to Utah.
Use the microphone.
Down the floor like he did. I mean, it just shows you what a leader is all about, and he was fantastic.
Chad, you've had quite a blessed week. I mean, the birth of your daughter, another world champion. You must be on top of the world.
Not a bad week for me. Not a bad week. I had a baby.
This team is back together.
What was it like? You had early access in the locker
rank right up there with Michael's.
I think, you know, the Jazz gave me the easy shot that really worked against me at the start of the game. I got that dunk, and from that point on, I just started to feel spasms in my back as I run every time I put my right leg down, and I just tried to gut it out and was able to get 6-7 minutes in the first half, and after I told Phil to take me out the game, it was just very difficult for me. I tried to run in the back and do whatever I could, and I just decided at that point that I would just take as much treatment as I could and try to go out and do what I could the next 24 minutes, hoping that, you know, some type of presence out on the court could make a difference, open up some opportunities, and, you know, I just did my best. But I have to give credit to my teammates. They came out and really held it together in the first half. Michael really put the scoring load on his shoulders and, you know, just did what he could, and you know, he had an outstanding performance. You know, it was a great team win, but you can't overlook what he's done for this team, especially in today's game.
Scottie, for years, your courage had been questioned by people in Chicago and elsewhere. The migraine headaches, the 1.8 seconds. Is it important to you that this performance
Going home is going to be a great airplane.
Enjoy it, Jerry. Congratulations.
Exactly. You know, I just wanted to get the series over with. I want the team to stay close and allow me the opportunity to come out and give my best 24 minutes, which didn't look that great, especially in my eye. But it was important for me to just try to be on the court and make my presence known and try to be effective any way possible.
Casablanca.
Great knowledge of the game. A lot of things that I could not do out there, but I don't reflect on those things. I just try to go out and play for my teammates and give the best performance that I can and try to come away to win. I didn't want to be looking at a Game 7 knowing that I'm not 100% and we're pretty much having our backs against the wall playing on their court.
Scotty, last year Michael sat at the podium and talked about how important it was to bring everyone back for one more year. Even with what you said at different times during the season, wouldn't you like to do one more year and forget rebuilding, maybe sign a one-year deal? Is that a possibility?
I'm not thinking about that right now. Give me a couple days and I'll give you an answer. But right now I just want to enjoy this moment and, you know, get myself feeling good again physically. I have to just sit back and enjoy this moment, and you know, I'll just see what's going to happen. You know, it's
possibility.
Anything is possible.
Next question.
Scotty, you know Michael as well as anybody, certainly as a competitor, and as he considers his future, at some point his physical skills will decline. We know that it has to happen.
They haven't declined yet, so I can't agree with that.
Do you think at some point he could accept playing without being the most dominant player in the sport?
No. No, not at all. I mean, Michael has probably got another 5 years left on his career. I mean, even before we can even see a decline in it. I mean, because he has so much knowledge of the game. There's other things that, you know, he knows that is waiting in his game that he can always pull out. And right now we're seeing him probably at the top of his game because he used so much knowledge as well as the physical skills that he has when he's out on the court.
Scotty, I know you don't want to talk about your future particularly, but if this was the end of this particular Bulls group...
Who's talking?
Right here. If this is the end of this group of Bulls being together, how great a run was it in your opinion?
Wonderful. Tremendously. I mean, it's unforgettable. I mean, it's something that I'll be able to look back and cherish for the rest of my life, you know, to be able to win 6 titles in the last 8 years. It's been a great run for us. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of celebrations, and I can never see any other team in the future being as dominant as this ball club has been. And, you know, you hate to see it come to an end, and you don't want to see it come to an end. I mean, we feel like that we're dominant, even though we weren't 100% healthy, especially myself going in these last couple games. But it's been a lot of fun, and that's part of winning, is being able to have that courage and desire to go out and do whatever you can to bring your team to the top.
Okay, we are taking questions for both players.
Yeah, don't y'all forget.
No. Let him
Don't y'all forget Ron.
because he's dominating the ball anyway, so let him go ahead.
For Ron Harper, Michael Jordan, judging by the press conferences, was almost hilarious after the 2 games you lost. How much of a factor was it with his leadership helping you getting by those defeats?
Well, you know, here's a guy that does a lot for our basketball team, and without his sad part there, early during this ball game, he was the guy who was holding us there. And he felt that we still had
16-0, 13 knockouts, longest layoff of his career, 56.
From New Jersey.
For us to go out there and to get him some help.
Limited already.
We hung in there, and we had a very good chance. And it was a very great ball game. And our hat goes off to him, to the.
They've been scoring. Michael Jordan's legend will always be remembered by, he always delivers. He gets to the basket, makes that key drive over Russell, and then comes down, has the presence of mind to come around on the weak side and strip Karl Malone, takes the ball all the way down, and let's face it, we knew he was going to take the shot. He was tired, and still, he hits that clutch jumper, nothing but net. Michael Jordan, I think he's pretty good.
He's not a bad ball player. Michael Jordan said,
Not died at all.
benefits right now. Let's head back to Atlanta.
All right, thank you.
Probably change it again, I think.
Scotty, over here. Over here, Scotty.
Yeah.
What exactly was your injury and how did it happen?
Took too many charges from Karl Malone.
You was out the club too long.
I took a lot of hard falls, not just in this series, but this is something that's probably going back even for the Indiana series. Just getting thrown to the floor, and I took a couple falls in the last game that really threw me off, and I just lost a lot of my mechanics for its moving out on the court and being aggressive and coming over and attacking. And I felt like that was something that affected us in Game 5, that I didn't have the energy, the mobility to be aggressive from a defensive standpoint, and as well as offense. I settled for a lot of jumpers, 0 for 7 from the three-point line, 2 for 16 from the game. Those things really worked against me, and defensively, I wasn't the same player. Even looking back at a lot of the tape of that game, they were saying how Utah had countered and were able to take advantage of me being able to come over and double team, and it was pretty much only because I wasn't physically mobile enough to get up and move. But as a result, we were able to counter, and we came away with a win.
Ron, if this team isn't back intact, how do you see your role changing next season? How good do you think this team can be?
I actually don't know. I'm not gonna think about what if and what's going to happen to this basketball team. I'm gonna just enjoy these next few days, this offseason. I'm going to enjoy, and I'm going to wait to see what happened to my best friend on this team, and hope whatever happened for him, because he been a great teammate, and he was the one who called me to be here. And if he want to be a Chicago Bull to be on this team again, it's up to him. To my man Scotty. And if you don't want to be a Bull, I'm going to be cheering for him anyway.
Okay, last question.
Okay, Ron, you had great defense on Stockton this game and throughout the series. Talk about the three-pointer that he made and the three-pointer that he didn't make in last 5 seconds.
Well, you understand. He's the kind of guy who runs his team. He has the basketball all the time, man. Everything goes through his hands. And last year, I didn't have fun. This year, I for sure said that I'm going to have fun. I'm going to do the things that I know that I can do. I use my size on him, and I just have fun out there. And the shot that he made was a very, very tough shot. And the last shot that he didn't make, I was relieved, put it that way. See y'all.
Okay, thanks, guys. You can take the trophy.
Bill, we're live in the Bulls locker room right now. We're going to see if we can't catch Judd Bushler, who's in the middle of talking to several scribes. Congratulations, Judd, live on WGN.
Thanks a lot.
How does this...
Still under contract for...
Right now, life doesn't get any better than this.
Partying with their families, and I just got a nice, sweet one in the back. But, talking earlier with Steve Kerr, he said all this talk about bringing everybody back, he doesn't care. He's full. He's just happy to have been around for the ride. Here's Steve.
Scotty hurt and Ron's sick. You throw the chalkboard out of the way and go, Mike, you got to do it.
Well, and let's give credit to Tony in the first half, too, because he and Michael carried us offensively in the first half and kept us close, and it was amazing that we were only down 4. They shot like 60% in the first half. So just just staying close was a tribute to those two guys, and then Scotty really battled in the second half and played great for us.
I'm sorry, you're awful good at this. Put it in perspective. Where does this rank with the rest?
This is best.
Yeah?
It's the best one because it's the most improbable.
Everyone's talking about the future of this team. What are your thoughts?
You know, I have no idea. Whatever happens, happens, and we'll go from there. But right now, I think everyone in Chicago should just celebrate this championship and enjoy the team and what just happened tonight. And in the future, we'll see what happens. It'll be a fun summer to see what happens, but let's enjoy the win and have a big celebration.
You deserve a good celebration as well. Congratulations. We're going to go out to Dan Roan, who's out with Bill Wennington on the floor. Danny.
All right, Bill, thanks very much, Bill.
Anniversary and they won. And we're gonna keep just dancing the night away while you guys are in the studio. Back to you.
All right, Lauren, thank you.
Thanks very much. John Stockton, one of the greatest point guards in the history of the NBA, now talking with reporters in Salt Lake City.
Things like that when they're obvious.
Trophy. Great looking piece of hardware right there. Ron, is that heavier than the...
We've participated in it, but as men, not as boys.
What does this championship mean to Dennis Rodman?
Well, it means to me that we come back to Chicago and everybody keep the damn bars open because we'll be back tonight, baby. That's what it means right now. That's what it means.
Speaking of coming back, how can you break this team up now? You've got 6. I know everybody's here just chomping at the bit for that shot at number 7. I mean, what's the thinking on the team?
I think the thing on the team is where we're going to enjoy this for the next 3 or 4 months, and hopefully that the NBA strike won't lock everybody out. And if it does, you know, we just got a lot of time to think about it, and hopefully that the Chicago Bulls and the organization will say, hey, let's try it one more time. Just one more time and call it quits, the farewell tour.
You've been a part of this organization now for 3 years, 3 titles. What makes this team so special? I mean, the guts and things we don't see on the court all the day. When you're out in practice, making it happen and connecting. Again, strange combinations. You got Michael, Mr. Clean. You're the other side of it. Scotty's kind of on his own. Tell me about this.
People don't really understand how this team works. And if you come right in the middle of this circle, you're like, we've had so much fun. It's real. And once we get to do it again, roll over and die tonight, have a 7 games so we can make that it takes to win, and tonight was a perfect example. We got the players in this team that believe in this. What's going on?
You've gone to Vegas in your lifetime. What are the odds of bringing everybody back next year? In reality, what do you think the reality is going to be? What are the odds?
I don't know. It's probably like a 50-50 right now. I mean, it's just
it may be. I see Michael with the trophy. Stick with me, Bud. Bud stuck there, our cameraman. Actually, it's Ron Harper. Ron Harper. Ron Harper. Talk to me about that. The Ron Harper trophy?
I got the Ron Harper trophy tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I got the Ron Harper trophy tonight.
Now, you had an upset stomach tonight. I think that champagne acted as Pepto-Bismol for you.
Hey, it was a great run for our basketball team. It was a great series. The fans had fun. Our team had fun. And we're happy that it come to an end.
You've been through the...
But, you know, I just tried to stick with it. And, you know, Michael had a great game. So I knew if I could just stay out there and get the ball to him, we had a good chance.
We're with Scottie Pippen. Scotty, now that you're celebrating, you're feeling good, you're coming back next year, right?
I answer that in a couple of days.
Scotty?
Maybe at Grant Park.
All right. He's got a little something in store for the fans in Chicago, possibly making his announcement about his future as early as the Grant Park celebration. We'll be back with much more in a minute. Back to Jim and Cheryl.
A year ago. I couldn't handle that. I couldn't believe Michael didn't throw it to me in that situation. What was he thinking?
There's a precedent here. Come on, right?
That's right. I did it last year.
Yeah. I guess the final sequence again. Talk to me about it. The steal. Was there any question in your mind as you watched it develop that he was going to hit that shot?
It was fit.
When it came out, that's
into this series being an underdog, and no one anticipated us to be able to beat this team because of the home court.
Not going for the pin. Yeah, you're right. He's just waiting for him to
have to be where
it's just a prop.
It's just a prop right now, just to show that I'm a champ.
Because this is the way he should go out.
Good way to go out. Well, what do you think? I mean, if you had to put a percentage on it, what's in your mind? I mean, nobody knows, but do you have a gut feeling on it?
Can you give us a few days at least? I mean, who cares right now, right? We just want to enjoy it. I mean,
suck down some champagne and forget about it for one night. Right?
Just get away from it. It'll be an interesting summer, but at this point, who cares?
That can wait.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, Steve Kerr, congratulations. Good job. Steve Kerr in the locker room, and right behind us, we've got Scottie Pippen, who I think has already been on once.
How does it feel? I mean, in the Jordan effect, okay? I mean,
say, hey, this is why we're back. This is what we want, the opportunity to win another title. And, I'm just glad that, what they brought to me was able to come true.
By coming back and what you've learned about this team and what you guys are able to accomplish, where's your head right now? What are you thinking about, man?
Resting my back.
Yeah, talk to me about the back. You stepped up tonight. It was killing you. You were able to make some key plays, but, a threat from the outside, even though you couldn't do what you wanted to do.
Well, that's what I wanted to do. I felt like, when I came out of the game in the first half that I wasn't going to be able to return. So I just wanted Chip him to give me as much treatment as possible, whatever, just to get me back out there and hopefully that the next 24 minutes.
Andy, he knows the Chicago scene. This is your first. This is his third. How's this rank in the Scott Burrell pantheon of thrills?
This is the biggest thrill I've ever had. I'm known as a champion now, and I'm glad to be part of this great team.
Well, that's true, Randy. They'll never take that away from either one of you guys or any of you guys. You are the world champions, although a lot of people are going to say.
From him. They can take it one time. He still got two more championships.
Well, how about it? This is your first year watching Michael Jordan. This must be a dizzying experience to see what this man can accomplish.
It's not my fifth year watching him, or fourth year watching him, but I'm glad to be on the same team as him for the first time. And it's amazing what he could do and how hard he works and how much he deserves this championship.
Well, that's true. Randy, you've been with him for a while now. You ever go tired of being a part of this whole thing? Can you see it? Can you see it ever ending?
Well, hopefully not. This is my 7th year in the NBA, and I don't think I've got tired of watching Michael and Scotty, those guys perform. And either watching us win, I think I'll never get tired of that. I pray to God it'll never end, but someday it has to end.
No. What do you think, man? You're coming back next year, right?
No, I'm not back. He's back. He's one of the 3 that are coming back.
So you're still you're a free agent?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Man, that's kind of scary, huh? It's nice. You're a world champion. Oh, there we go. Johnny
Legs saved one. Legs saved one.
Jay, I knew Johnny would get it.
Legs. He saved one.
Big back. This jacket is shot. All right, Bill Wennington. I got wet. Are you happy?
Don't look wet enough. We're the greatest player that ever played this game, and people recognize that, and this organization ought to recognize that, and respect that, and hopefully that they will, and try to bring everybody back and treat them as the way he should be treated.
And for Michael Jordan, here's a guy that played major minutes and really just...
A forced shower. Let's go back to Stephen Allison while they sort all this out.
Looks like one of our colleagues is getting that forced shower. Thanks, Bill. A champagne-drenched Bill Weir.
We couldn't do it in Chicago.
You're going to be Hey, man, I got my wallet in here. Look out, look out, look out, look out, look out.
It's not over. Come on, it's not over.
Back to you in the studio.
Oh, Tim, we thought we'd see you in there.
We're out of danger now.
Well, I don't know. He's right beside you.
He could go off at any minute.
Jordan struggles for a while, but
it's a lot different.
How much were you inspired?
Flooding into the street, and it looks like at least 20 cop cars are now going southwest on Archer. They did have Archer blocked for a time, but they're pretty much making their way down along through all the bars and stopping people that were hanging out of their car windows, which I'm sure is happening all over the city. People just celebrating. We were told that the state police helicopter just arrived on the scene as well, so we're not sure if something more serious is going on. Let's see if we can widen out and see that. I believe we've got a shot of that, but state police helicopter for some reason is here at Archer and Cicero. We're not sure if something more serious is going on, but we can see there are at least 20 cop cars streaming down Archer now. State police helicopter here, so there is revelry. We've seen some on the west side as well. Big police.
Have a great chance to win it. But even when we lost the last game in Chicago, they said now they have no chance. But we always believed in ourselves, and that's the way why we're the champs.
Tony, what do you think was the turning point in tonight's game?
Michael's last shot and a good defense last 5.5 seconds. Well, it was a game that we knew that we have a chance if we hang in by the middle of a fourth quarter, and
Mike, you keep amazing yourself. Are you amazing yourself after the?
I am happy for the city of Chicago. I'm happy for my wife and my family first. I'm happy for the city of Chicago because they deserved it. Although we couldn't do it in Chicago, there's some gratification to do it here where the fans came down on us real hard.
You must be exhausted. Being Superman, you still needed more of a breather than you got.
I know, and Phil knew that. Phil asked me before the game. He says, "Are you ready to play 48 minutes?" I said, "Whatever it takes."
But they didn't drop the game plan at all, right? I mean, they said when Scotty couldn't go and Ron.
If it happens, but hopefully it's not going to happen, and this team is going to.
No, I'll be here. I'm here, and it's just been great. I was hoping that it wouldn't be all offense, but it had to be.
Champagne. Michael, with everything you've been through.
You're coming back, right?
Well, we have to wait and see. I want us to all be back here next year, but I mean, time is going to tell that. You know, right now we don't want to make no rush judgment, and I think everybody wants to evaluate and see what happens.
Michael, with everything you've been through, how special was this one?
It's very special. 6? Come on, to win 6? You know how tough that is. That's very hard, man. I mean, nobody's done it but Bill Russell and his crew. Magic won 5. We won 6.
That's going to make you want for Michael Jordan to accomplish.
Well, I mean, we have to wait. I'm not going to jump ahead of myself. All right, I'm done. I am done. For all the people back in Chicago.
Where are you going now? What are you going to do?
I'm going. We flying back to Chicago tonight.
Congratulations. All right. Well, Michael Jordan battling his way through.
Out of here, please.
Okay, go.
Let me out of here.
Congratulations, Michael. Wow. Michael Jordan.
And Mark's right in the thick of things there.
He's absolutely something, isn't he? I'll tell you.
Mark's been. No, as long as we were.
Invade las calles de León.
I mean, being down by 2-3 points, it doesn't make any difference in the game.
Además, he's moving around, a lot of still photographers trying to get Michael's in a little bit, and the game. Well, we can, and worry about it this summer in terms of his future and what will happen next.
Tony, we're going to kick it out to the studio. Steve,
somebody else is coming back with.
We're Tony Kukoc. I don't think any player stepped up as well as Kukoc.
Yeah, last game 5, he stepped up big time, 30 points, saved.
I don't want to think right now about the next year and what's going to happen. Hopefully, the right people is going to find the right language, the right things to put together to keep the team as it is.
Well, Tony, you stepped up great. Congratulations. And we're going to go over and see if we can talk Michael into coming back and playing with you next year, all right?
Thank you. Thanks.
Tony Kukoc, it is.
Knew if I could just stay out there and get the ball to him, we had a good chance.
We're with Scottie Pippen. Scotty, now that you're celebrating, you're feeling good, you're coming back next year, right?
I answer that in a couple of days.
Scotty.
Maybe at Grant Park.
All right. He's got a little something in store for the fans in Chicago, possibly making his announcement about his future.
Confidence in that game. He was ready to play it all the way through.
Right. I'm sure you've been asked this in the news conference already, but.
No, I don't know what I'm going to
do. Phil, is it more relief than ecstasy?
Future, and then.
It's ecstasy.
Nature has created our ultimate enemy. It's
a little bit, but we're celebrating 2 straight years Chicago Bulls championship.
You know, it's illegal to advertise hard liquor on television, you know, but I mean.
So we'll turn it around.
I'm sitting right in shower.
I almost tried to drag you in there.
You know what? The guy's pretty strong. You know, I've lost a little weight, but he still was hoisting me in there. As you can see, I only got mildly sprayed.
Yes, I see that.
Well, you know.
Their presence known. They're doing it in a big way. We're continuing to watch the city from Jetcopter 1. Phil Rogers, News Channel 5.
All right, thanks, Phil. That is good news. And the Bulls.
In terms of, okay, where is my husband going next now that they've won?
Yeah, right. And when am I allowed to talk to him after 15 other reporters are in front of me?
We thought she was asking, are you...
Games, an occurrence MJ is not allowed since November of 1990. And the Bulls have a penchant for closing in Game 6s. 4 of their last 5 titles have been clinched in that game. To Salt Lake we go, where Michael was sweating and chewing gum. Scotty earlier in the day stretching his lower strained back, and for good reason, because you'll see off the dunk, first points of the game, he's wincing, running back up court. He aggravated it, and just minutes later, aggravates it more off the tough jump hook in traffic. He goes down in the play, and he would leave the court, heading back to the locker room. Karl Malone, however, stuck around. Later in the first quarter, tied at 22, time running down, bucket, the foul, Malone, 20 first half points. Meanwhile, back in the locker room, Pippen getting checked out. He would not return in the first half. From backs to backsides. Right back at you, tough guy. Second quarter, Jazz up 4. Jordan takes the pass. Nifty fake, and Shandon Anderson. Jordan matched his uniform number in the first half. That would be 23. Bulls down 49-45 at the half. After halftime, Pippen returned, but with a noticeable limp. And then a little Olivia Newton-John action. We're getting physical. Jordan, Russell, banging bodies down low. That was nothing compared to this. Malone and Rodman down on the floor. These two will be in the ring soon for some foolish made-for-TV wrestling event. getting a little glimpse. You don't even have to pay for it. Well, it is cable. Anyway, later in the third, Jazz up 2. Pippen inside. It's no good, but there's Rodman for the tip. Tied at 59, but Pippen in pain. He'd go back to the locker room again, but would return in the fourth quarter with the Bulls down 3. Turnaround jumper in the lane. He hits it. Pippen finished with 8 points in 28 minutes. We are tied at 77. Minutes later, Malone, open jumper. He nails it. He had 31. Jazz up 2. Bulls next possession. Shot clock winding down. Ron Harper, did he beat the buzzer? Refs say yes. Everyone in the Delta Center said no, but we're tied at 79 regardless. Jazz up 2 with 2:40 remaining. Stockton to Malone, who hits it. Jazz up 4. But we're tied at 83 with 46 seconds left. Stockton, huge 3, it hits it. Jazz up 3, but that is when it is Michael Jordan time with 40 seconds left. Off the timeout. Quick bucket. Blows by Russell. Bulls down 1. Jazz next possession. Malone on the box down low, but look who comes weak side and slaps it away. Jordan with the huge steal. One last chance. Phil Jackson does not call timeout. With 12 seconds left, Jordan for the championship for his 6th ring. He hits it with 5 seconds left. A 15-foot jumper. Just like in game 1 of last year's final. Creates space on Russell. Fires away and just flat out nails it. Bulls up 1. 5 seconds left. Last chance for the Jazz. It's John Stockton. From the top of the 3-point arc. No good. And the Chicago Bulls win the NBA championship. Their 6th title in 8 tries. And Malone once again comes up short. Jordan and Jackson getting one for the other thumb, if you will. Pippen and Jordan embracing. Is this Michael Jordan's last game? Well, Jordan with 45 points on this night.
Tremendous momentum going that David.
What's the game that we could get?
Ahmad said that you were not going to be able to.
We sure enjoy watching him play.
Excuse me, I would be remiss.
He's my old buddy, and I might be going toe-to-toe with him right now, man.
I would be remiss if I did not ask you, do you have any animosity toward the 2 Jerrys in trying to work?
Last game. If it was the best ending that it possibly can happen, but I hope that the right people
to clear things.
Thanks so much, David.
Able to go out and play. Back and let this championship and this win and celebration, everything soak in, and I'll make a decision.
Have to be
Mañana en vivo.
For etiquette
well, I feel like that it needs to be at least more than 1 season. I mean, I have to look more for my future.
I said to myself, don't score 30 points because it didn't work out the last time. So just be on your
Again, where the way we're playing and the way that.
It's John Adams. I'm not here.
All right.
Well, I would love to say yes, and I would love for that.
Can you imagine playing in the league without Michael? It's all your career. You and Michael have been the team.
No, I mean, as many teams he's disappointed. I don't want to be on the disappointing side, but I've enjoyed my career with Michael, and I feel like that I perform much better being on the court with it.
Well, he feels the same way about you. I mean, if you don't have Michael and Michael doesn't have you, I mean, it just doesn't seem like it's the same basketball world anyway.
Well, I hope that me and Michael can stick together at least for a few more years, and that's all I can do.
What are you smoking, a Monte Cristo, Scotty?
Actually, I got this from Mr. Reinsdorf. It is a Monte Cristo.
Well, that's a start. He's giving you good cigars, man.
He gave me a cigar.
He better give you a lot more than that.
How do you
Congratulations, Scottie Pippen.
This guy and win the titles?
It's unbelievable. First from winning the 3 championships, for somebody that comes for basketball-wise and NBA-wise so far from it.
Still holds the per carry average on a season basis at UCLA. Where would you list a Michael Jordan on your list of great athletes? When you start talking about Thorpe, when you start talking about Babe Ruth or
reflective, including Scotty, and Bill Wennington was actually very poetic, Judd Bushler. I mean, all these guys realize that they have reached this apex of history, and they're not sure what direction they're going to go now. And that goes for almost everybody in this room. As we discussed with Tony Kukoc, even the guys that are coming back, there's a great aura of uncertainty surrounding them.
Very special because it just,
I'm just so proud.
Bulls, you know, the biggest win ever for them. And the seats that went for thousands of bucks on Friday night were $10 tonight, a family night really here at the UC. But there wasn't a whole lot of sitting going on here at the United Center, certainly not during those
championships in 8 years.
Michael Jordan brought it back home for the Bulls. Yeah, while the Delta Center may have been uncharacteristically quiet, the United Center went wild to the rafters. This was the night they've waited for, and while it couldn't come soon enough, there was no doubt among the diehard fans that it would come tonight. The nail-biting's over. The celebration of 6 is here.
Never doubted the Bulls. Number one, never doubted it. Never. Mike will always be the best. And don't forget it. Number one, baby.
Stockton's been so good in that shot. I just hoped it wouldn't go in. We need all the Bulls back next year for a repeat.
Yeah, there's just no question. They absolutely felt they were at the game. And this was the scene here at the United Center tonight. The 5 previous championship trophies paraded around for the fans to see. And, of course, we're going to be adding to that come Tuesday. It's just going to be unbelievable for the rally that's coming up in Grant Park. And people are ready for it. There's just no question about it. Kenny Mack, in fact, is standing here with me. Look what he's done. He's there. He's got the Bulls number 6. Kenny you were telling me, Kenny, that this is your first time actually in the UC. What was it like for you to experience this tonight?
It was an experience I would never forget. It was very successful, and I want to congratulate the Bulls on number 6, and hopefully they'll be going for 7. And also the fact that it was only $10 because I wouldn't have been able to afford a ticket.
Yeah, well, it was $10. That's it was a lot cheaper than was Friday night for thousands of bucks here. All right, Kenny, thanks very much. It was an incredible night.
We're going to party tonight. First,
we'll go in here and
up later on this week.
How does this one feel?
Yes, wait, there he is. Come on, let's go. Bill Wennington.
Most satisfying, you know, all season was a struggle.
Can I have you for a second? What are you shooting here?
Corey.
What are you, Cecil B. Wennington?
Did you say, can you have me? What do you mean?
What I mean is, can I talk with you, okay?
Didn't we talk in New York one time after a game like this?
I go back many years with this guy covering the St. John's Redmen back in 84-85 when he and Chris Mullin and Mark Jackson went to the Final Four. Congratulations.
We didn't win that, though.
Well, you went to the Final Four. You came pretty darn close. Can you describe this? I mean, you've been through it before, but is this special? Is this different? Is this somehow unique from the others?
This is great because I think what happened was in the Indiana series, I think a lot of people started to speculate if we'd even get here.
Sure.
And then once we finally got through the Indiana series, I think
game, and it's a sweep.
To come out more than ready to play, and it was on us to give him a support during the game, and I knew that we have a chance to win.
And what about the play?
That's Tony Kukoc here in the Bulls locker room. Much more coming in from Utah. Let's go back to Chicago right now. Chet.
All right, Eric, thank you, partner. Tonight, Tony Kukoc, 15 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds in 30 minutes.
Together in private.
Oh, yeah, I don't even.
You know, Linda and Jay, you were mentioning earlier about the locker room. First of all, it's the driest locker room of all 6. And second of all, as I said, it's the one where the exuberation is tempered by that, and it's been that way all year long, as you guys know. Every time we report a Bulls story, it's always with the caveat, well, what's going to happen next year? What's going to happen down the road? And that kind of thought process impedes you from living the moment and enjoying it. Carpe diem, and this is a great moment, let's face it. You guys who watch that basketball game, that'll go down in history as one of the great individual moments in all of sport. Michael Jordan making the steal, Michael Jordan making the winning basket. I mean, how do you top that when the guy was completely exhausted?
On Archer Avenue, just west of Cicero. We'll keep you updated as soon as we get more information, but for now, we'll throw it back to you. Steve, Allison?
Okay, thanks, Robin. We can only hope this is just revelry, partying, and certainly not.
Chris Brigida did a
Ray, you were one of them.
I knew that Chicago, without a doubt, will win it in the fourth quarter. Michael Jordan's heroics have been uncanny. Take another way from Karl Malone and John Stockton, probably going down history. But the Bulls are a great team in history.
Gracious in victory. And do you know what these guys are saying? They're saying, let's go for 7. And in the words of MC Hammer, the song has been playing here all night. It's all good from here. Back to you.
Yeah, it's the first we've heard that tonight. Go for 7. You remember last year we were sitting here watching Michael Jordan celebrating?
That's right. Yeah.
This year he's saying, let's hope.
Absolutely. Well, when you're out there at the 50-yard line, that's probably the only place that's more crowded than the locker room downstairs. So, Nasita, do the best you can out there, dear.
Pacific at all?
Oh,
they're down by 3.
Kind of follows.
And that's rightly so. And I would love to stay in Chicago. It's been a great city for me and my family for 5 years. And you know, it's a great team, and I really hope they keep this team together. It'd be outstanding if they do.
You know, it's the first time I've ever been taller than Bill Wennington. I like the standing on top of the stool here in the locker room. It's great stuff. Good luck to you. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Thanks to all the fans back in Chicago who supported us all year. It's been great.
All right, good job, Bill Wennington. Good man. Good job, Bill. Thank you. All right. Bill Wennington, let's look around the locker room, see who else we can see. Go to the right there, Jeff, and see Luke Longley maybe talking back to Australia. That's his dad right next to him. Could you tell? Oh, Aussie land is celebrating tonight as well. As we look around, Steve Kerr is nearby here doing an interview, and most of the players have cleared out at this time and perhaps trying to look inside, perhaps heading for the bus as the celebration continues. As we say, they'll go back to the hotel, pack, and then head back to Chicago, probably landing somewhere.
On this new Dodge Dakota.
I said, without Michael, we don't win any of these.
To Chicago, when we have something else, we'll be back at you, all right?
Okay, Corey, quite literally on top of the world right now.
And somebody ought to tell Corey, you have to have a union card. This is a union shop to shoot those pictures, but we'll let him slide this time. People, a lot of pressure on the Bulls to come back, bring the team back together, what's going to happen in the future. But right now, let's celebrate.
And there's going to be a big celebration right here in Chicago on Tuesday at Grant Park. Our coverage here at Fox News is going to begin at 9 a.m. The rally itself starts at 10, but we're going to get going an hour early at 9 a.m., so be here with us at 9.
Bruce Wolf is standing by, back in Utah. Bruce, what's happening?
Well, I'll tell you what, Karl Malone just boarded the Bulls bus, and he was congratulating all the Bulls players. I don't know if he's still on there. He was going down the aisle, handshaking all the Bulls players, and I don't seem to see him right now. He may have... he is right behind us. Okay, I just got into his car right now. Okay. Karl, a tough series, huh? Yes. Okay, yeah, and the window goes up. Electric windows. Good thing to have when you're a loser. And, yeah, it was a very difficult series, but he was very gracious. He went into the bus. And Dickie Simpkins, Dickie, hey, nice to get another ring. And being on the team and on the playing roster. Huh?
Yeah, being there physically and getting another ring. Man, I'm right now.
How's it feel, man?
I feel like running back to Chicago with this uniform on. I just feel like jogging all the way back to Chicago.
You still have your shorts on right now, huh?
Everything. I'm ready to get back and just enjoy it.
Might be a little cold on the plane.
Nah, I'm going to try to get back and take a shower real quick.
Okay, he's going to try and take a shower. Okay, we've got that, an exclusive right here. And let's go back to you in the studio right now.
The consensus is that's a good thing, Bruce.
The loop was shut off along Wacker Drive, so people couldn't drive downtown. The outer drive was closed off at the main exits that would get you in the downtown area, like North Avenue and Oak Street. The Kennedy Expressway was shut off at Ohio, the feeder entrance to downtown.
And enjoyed all the celebration, and then after about a half an hour, they realized, okay.
Stuff that's been going on. We're going to go back to Corey as we go continuing our coverage. Let's go back to Corey McFerrin now. What's happening?
Because we didn't have. We've got Jerry Krause just outside the locker room.
This team than any other team we've ever had.
When you look at that, when you look at all the ways this team has persevered over the years with the core group, is there any reason why they shouldn't be allowed to defend what they've won?
Well, star who once worked as a bank teller.
Single arrest that we've seen, a number of firecrackers have gone off, but there's been nothing.
South, a lot of neighbors have come out just to see the crowd because they've seen.
And tonight we have our Phil Rogers up in Jetcopter 1 keeping an eye on
in the NBA, you did this, you did that, and then
the group does come back in that Michael would want to play with him.
They cheer him on.
We win, celebrate our achievements with style and dignity.
Game, incredible series. It made history. Michael's an enigma.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Right?
They should go for 7. It's so emotional because it may be it, but it's totally awesome.
7.
Oh my God. It's just as exciting as the first time. Absolutely. It's great. I just want Scotty and Michael and Rodman all to come back for 7 because I think that Chicago has it in them.
And then
to
you
go
can wear your
another
hat
one.
again.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's plastic. It'll last forever.
The Bulls are the best. They are my favorites. I would have cried if they...
People are just very, very happy. Live at Jetcopter 1 over the southwest side. Here is the Bull 2. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It was a hard road, but we did it again.
And some of the fans are making a fashion statement. Tracker the dog, who is a distant cousin of Dennis Rodman, wearing his double three-peat shirt. So that is the story from Wrigleyville. We will see you back here sometime in October when the Cubs clinch the National League pennant. Live at Wrigleyville, Jerry Ower, WGN News.
Okay, we're here at the 50-yard line. Carlos is a guy I talked to earlier this evening who told me, keep the faith, don't lose faith. Now, let me ask you the question of the night. What's going to happen to the team next year?
Only thing I see is we losing Scotty, and if we pick up a big man, we'll do it again, as long as Mike be here.
You don't think they're going to break up the team?
No, if they do, I think they'll be foolish.
You think so?
Why break up a happy home?
All right.
Why break up a happy home?
All right, ladies, let me ask you guys something. Who was the star of tonight's game?
Scotty, baby.
And Dennis Robin. Dennis Robin and Kukoc, those the ones.
Oh, Tony Kukoc, my man. That's
Mike came in at the end, then he blew up.
Well, it sounds like you named everybody there. That's the whole team. That keeps it pretty simple, right? One says Scotty, one says Dennis, Tony. Before you know it, they've listed the whole team, and it was a team effort. And the crowd is definitely not thinning out here. It's going to be going well into the early morning hours here at the 50-yard line. But everybody's partying peacefully, and they're doing it with moderate.
The world's team.
And Madison Street here. Other than that, it's been relatively quiet. And as a matter
split up. We've kind of been talking about that. This may have been the very last game that we saw tonight, and people like this gentleman have said they're a little sad. I understand the fact that the Bulls, Michael, Phil, this may be it.
No, it shouldn't be. No.
I don't think this is it.
No, they going for 7.
You think? All right, so even though, let me ask you then, what was it like to watch this game tonight? You're convinced that Michael and everybody will be back.
Now, I had a feeling he was going to be back because Michael's the man.
Let me see what this person, I was talking to her as well. Now, you were talking earlier. Do you think that perhaps this is it, or do you think Michael and Phil, everybody will be back?
Well, if it is it, it's fine because the Bulls have definitely done their part. They have
time. That's all helping police. The last thing I heard an officer.
Right? Well, we have to win.
Michael, you have won this award. They said he was tired. They said he was old. You know what? He's God. He's God, baby. I'm gonna have a tear in my eye if he goes away.
It epitomized Michael Jordan. You know how he works best under pressure, and then to have the last 5 seconds, and he made 2 points and won by 1 point. It just epitomized what Michael Jordan's all about.
I love it. I love everything about Chicago. I'll be back, Jordan. I'll be back to shake your hand.
It means everything to be down here tonight, and since 11 o'clock, standing on line, and it's all worth it.
Time, and I like to.
All Bulls.
But that was got some of the celebration out early, and by the time we got through with the post-game show, the crowd had settled down a little bit, and now they've come to life again. And police have been keeping a watchful eye. They've had a few motorcycle cops back in the alley. They've got mounted patrols at each end of this block. The crowd is relatively small compared to what it's been in previous years, and police have been on the rooftops, and every now and then a few helmeted police will come in and make sure that they separate any of those who look like they might want to get into some fisticuffs. It's been well managed and quiet, and as you can see, enthusiastic. Live from Division Street, Dick Kay, News Channel 5.
And it appears our cameras make them a little more enthusiastic.
Although I'm sure we'll leave that to Matt.
Milwaukee, about a mile down in the Bucktown area, still a lot of partying in front of bars.
He's not quitting. He'll be back, and Scotty will be back, and Phil Jackson.
And for those who
already hearing all that, but it worked for him, so give him credit.
And if the Jazz decide to bring all their guys back to let's do it again next year, we'll win number 7. That's the way it goes.
The 911
screaming, but once that shot went in, silence. In fact, the only thing that you could hear was the few Bulls fans in the audience screaming.
You tell me. What do you think of that? That was great. That was great. Yes. Yes. Come on, give me more of that.
Yeah, baby.
Yes. What do you think?
That's outstanding. Unbelievable. How about it? We have 5 seconds left, though. 5.2 seconds to be exact. Baby.
I'm a huge Bulls fan, man. They're the best team in the whole world. I went to Chicago Friday night, came to Utah. I'll fly on the world for them. Yeah. 6. Yeah. points on Isley. 3 points on Isley. They took it away. We love you. Repeat the three-peat. Nobody at beach. What's up?
Now, the Utah fans weren't quite as excited. In fact, they were
a 7-Eleven store
angry at us. There was a little woman about this tall. She was putting her hand in front of the camera, tried to take out my cameraman. We handled her. They aren't polite in Utah like the civil Chicago Bulls fans. Reporting live.
Do away with.
Continuing our coverage of the Bulls' 87-86 victory as John Stockton missed that last-second shot, which would have won the game for Utah, the Bulls' 6th championship in the last 8 years.
Nail biter, heart stopper, whatever you want to call it, all those descriptive terms about just how they kept us on the edge of our seats and right down to the last second.
For the end of the game.
As the doors, I don't know what kind of doors there are at the Delta Center, but whatever doors there are, I'm sure Dennis has found a private way to get out.
Maybe he's with Carmen. He really doesn't like talking to the media, does he?
He doesn't like to stop. He'll talk en route. You have to get him walking, which is very dangerous on the reporters and also the camera guys more so. But he will talk when he walks, but he doesn't know. He doesn't like to stop, doesn't like to talk to the media, does so under duress sometimes. And he's that kind of guy. He's just not very cooperative in that way.
Question about, go ahead.
We're going to say Dan is standing by back at the Delta Center. Speaking of that place, let's go back and join our sports truck and see what's going on with that champagne on his head there.
I'm with entertainment.
To be so much competition, so much money.
For sweepstakes, you may scream.
Center where Amy. No rocking place tonight, Amy.
Now that was a Bulls bash. I'm doing a little bit better than John Kelly. I just got a little bit of confetti on me, but that was quite a Bulls bash. The Delta Center may have been deafening. Let me tell you, tonight the United Center was just scorching. 16,007.
Chicago.
And at times tonight, they really needed each other. But now they celebrate a Bulls 6th title. Michael Jordan and the Bulls, 1,500 miles west, but you could feel the excitement just fine from here. Well, there you have where the NBA World Champion banners are. Bulls banners, 96.
Sense of relief out here tonight, Rich.
Yak dealer today.
The dance moves tonight. They're still rowdy. Still a few people here. Let's find out what they still think of the Bulls. What do you think?
I think that the Chicago Bulls are the greatest team that ever been made.
Yeah! Now, what do you think's going to happen next year?
7-peat! Woo!
What if everybody doesn't come back? What are you going to do?
They're going to come back. We'll get them back. We'll get them back next year. Phil come back, Michael and Pippen and John Benson!
6, 7, 8, 9.
Well, you heard it from here. Yes, people were here early this morning. We had about 100 people in here tonight, and I think this crowd is almost ready to go home. Well, back to you.
All right, thanks,
Not sure about that, Lauren. They look like they still got some partying left in them.
A lot of the Bulls, I think, have headed home. At least their temporary home in Salt Lake City. They're at the DoubleTree, and that's where Howard Sudbury is standing by. Hey, Howard.
I have a feeling they'll be styling through the night here on the south side of the 50-yard line. Back to you guys.
You know, hanging with a shoe. It's another testament. Just
and I don't know how many people heard that.
6th championship will continue tonight, but there is other news to report to you. Also this evening, a mysterious illness leaves hundreds sick in the southern suburbs. The source of the sickness is believed to be food catered by an Orland Park restaurant.
We catered some of the food out, which was a potato salad and the chicken.
So many Bulls fans out here as we run into every that this inside the hotel right there, and you can look, they're lined up in there too. There is a small path for the players to walk to as they go up to the elevator. If our cameraman would back up a little bit, look up there in the balcony. I mean, all the employees are lined up. I see guys out of the kitchen in there, so it is quite a scene here at the hotel, and the party will continue when the Bulls players get here in 3.5 minutes to go.
Juan's Deli.
All righty.
Come back, and as Dan said, if they
great rebound. That was the key, of course, to one of those victories.
It was huge. It was huge.
Okay. All right, we have to wrap it up right now, Corey. The bus is about to
Plus,
leave.
we got the state trooper here. That's not the one that was with Carl, was it?
It better not be.
Yeah.
That's treasonous. Okay, back to you in the studio.
All right, you guys. Thanks for all your help.
Thank you very
much.
All right, the Bulls do it 87-86. Michael Jordan with the clincher with 5 seconds left. Dan, your thoughts?
The toughest and the sweetest, they say.
The toughest and the sweetest. That's exactly right. And you know what? I'm looking forward to this offseason because I think it's going to be a fascinating one to watch how this team reassembles.
Stories about him.
Be an organism that is taking a
control the rebound and win their 6th championship, 87-86. Look at Michael. Can you believe the privilege we all...
Injured after a boating accident.
Scotty with a couple of big...
Feel that to see his...
Aftermath, Michael hugging him out of Rashad.
For music. With music.
This before, we've seen this 6 times now. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
That's like Randy's place to be on Michael Jordan's back at the end of the championship.
And you got to feel good for Michael because he's such a great guy, and he always has the perspective on things. And here he goes. Here goes in the final seconds, making a great shot, and that really wraps it up pretty good.
It really is, and I'll say it again, a storybook ending to
Let's take a look at the rally, which is coming up on Tuesday, everybody. Our coverage starts at 9 a.m., I believe. We're going to be in Grant Park. All of us will be there. Rich
I'll be
King,
at the Berto Center.
You'll be at the Berto Center, okay? Steve and I and Dan Roan will be down in Grant Park with the Bulls. And listen, we want the Bulls to say a little more to the fans this year.
And take a little advice from Phil Jackson. Rather than worry about the future of this team, enjoy the moment.
That's right.
I'm Steve Sanders.
And I'm Allison Payne. Thanks for joining us tonight. And go Bulls!
See you tomorrow.
$8,000 people are still in the dark.
Further, better go.
Win 6 titles in the last 8 years. It's been a great run for us. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of celebrations, and I can never see any other team in the future being as dominant as this ball club has been. And, you know, you hate to see it come to an end, and you don't want to see it come to an end. I mean, we feel like that we're dominant, even though we weren't 100% healthy.
Back there.
No. Right form with required. But
Another championship.
And the final second, the Chicago Bulls have won the 95-96 NBA championship. Make it 4 in 6 years as they defeat the Sonics.
That's the number we're going to be talking about a lot. It's the number of titles the Bulls have won now in the 90s. It's the number of MVPs Michael Jordan has now won. The Bulls beat the Jazz to win the final series 4-2, and if this was indeed the last dance, the Bulls' final run, it couldn't have ended on a better note for Michael Jordan. First half action of the game, and Karl Malone happy to be back in Utah with a chance to tie the series at 3 games apiece. Scottie Pippen in pain, suffering from soreness in his lower back, but he started anyway. In the first quarter, he got the jam there, and he's in serious pain. Bulls up by 2 early. Later in the first, MJ spots up, third rock, part of a 9-0 Chicago run. Moments later, Pippen is out, headed for the locker room to stretch out his back. And Utah takes advantage. Karl Malone, hitting the J there. They love it in Utah, 12-2 Jazz run. Pippen still in the locker room, stretching out. He would sit out the majority of the first half. In Chicago, down by 3. Second quarter, MJ carrying the load. In for the layup. Then Kukoc finds him, and he finds net. Bulls up by 1, 36-35. Utah looks to the mailman. Malone up and under on Dennis Rodman. He had 20 points in the first half. Jazz up by 3. But Jordan answered, working the baseline, fading away, and scoring. 23 points in the first half. Game tied at 45. Under a minute to play in the first half. Malone finds the cutting John Stockton. And Utah goes up by 4 at the half. The score there was 49-45. And as we said, MJ had 23 in that first half.
All right, so that was the situation.
Want a windbreaker.
Park. Police say.
Hey, Steve, good party up there. Unbelievable. Bill Cartwright, and it's really going to get rowdy now because I spot MJ on the
Take advantage of.
All right. Judd. Hey, Judd. There's Luke. Michael is now making his way off the bus. We got a shot of him. Michael with a cigar. CT. CT. Get Michael. Here's Michael Jordan. Scotty. There's Dennis. Hey, Joe. Joe Clyde. Hey, Joe. Joe Clyde. Oh, come here. Come here. He owes me one after that. Woo! That was Joe Clyde that just got me good. Can you let go now? I just broke a rib. Well, Lester and Linda, or whoever's there, Jay.
He did get you.
Quite a sight.
At least
I wish I could get some in my mouth, guys.
Yeah, it was the good
The team
stuff.
is in there, and you know what? The same exercise is going to happen on the way out. And they'll have a little more champagne in them, so I think the interviews are going to get better, guys.
Howard, they tried to throw Tim Weigel into the shower and failed. I think they took their frustration out on
Well,
you.
I tell you what, I was with him. There's a guy getting arrested there. It's getting ugly. I was with Tim right before that, and you know what? In those close quarters, he'd worked up a sweat. He needed a shower. It's a fun night, guys.
Hey, Howard, from your point of view, compare this celebration.
When are you?
Great.
Mine. Have them. We're going to stand up amid.
Esa es
1-800. 800 years.
Got your guitar. With the kind of support he should expect here, might even be considered the favorite in the fight.
Get cool again tomorrow, only 70.
Looking back on the memories of Michael Jordan cradling that championship trophy, the first one in Los Angeles, then on the floor of the United Center with the game ball, back the first championship after he came back. Michael did indeed seem more emotional on the other ones. Do you agree?
Oh, I think he was more emotional then for a lot of reasons. When he cradled the ball, that was the first one that he had won after his father had been killed. So that was really a tough one. If you remember, he laid in the locker room and on his stomach and he sobbed in there. That one was for his father. And I think every championship that he wins, he's always thinking of him. So that's why he was so emotional after that one. You remember the one when they beat Portland? That was the first one in Chicago at the old stadium when they came up and they...
But here it is right now. Let's check it out. Morcheeba, the new one from the album Big Calm. This.
East Coast and Expo 9 financing.
95, 96 NBA championship.
So this one was an uphill battle, and the fact that it could be the last one, although I don't think it will be, I think that made it a little bit sweeter because it was so difficult. Michael Jordan loves challenges better than anybody, and this I think he considered his greatest challenge and the ultimate challenge.
And no doubt, Howard, I think you would agree that to write a headline about MJ or the team saying too old, too tired is like waving red in front of a bull.
It is. I think that people would learn after a while. I mean, you know, how can you pick against him? You can't pick against Michael Jordan. I don't care what they did during the regular season. I don't care how tired they look. I mean, when he got the ball at the end of the game, you knew he was going to make that shot, and I think Utah had a pretty good idea he was going to make the shot. I mean, he's done it so many times before. When he gets an opportunity like that, he seizes it. I don't know about you. I knew he was going to make it.
Howard, we talked about Michael's reaction. I remember you outside the team bus, another team bus in Phoenix after the title there. The players, many of the players seemed to view it differently this time, didn't they?
They seem to view it differently, did you say?
They seem to view it differently. They seem to take it differently.
Well, I think that they do take it differently. As I was saying, everyone is unique, and this one, the whole theme was The Last Dance. We talked to Phil Jackson's agent ahead of time, and he said that was the way Phil was trying to approach this thing. That's been their theme right from the beginning, and I think that spread throughout the team, and something going on in there. They're letting, I thought more players were coming out. So I think that's what's made this one unique.
Jamaica. Wild in his 6th game, 6 finals. Michael Jordan delivers the 6th title for the Bulls, and for the 6th time, he is the MVP of the NBA Finals. Incredible performance by Michael Jordan tonight here in the Delta Center. Welcome inside, guys, and let me just tell you something. It's one of those moments where you have to step and almost catch your breath because Michael Jordan.
Frantic finish now. Game tied at 83. John Stockton hit the biggest shot of his career, a three-pointer with 42 seconds left. After a Jordan layup, Utah tried to go to Malone for a clinching basket, but Michael poked it away for the steal. And you knew who was going to get the final shot. Michael breaks down Brian Russell and gets a clean look at his 17-footer. Nothing but net. Bulls up by 1 with 5.2 seconds left. Plenty of time still for Utah, but the best shot they could get was another off-balance 3 try by Stockton. This time, though, it was no good. Time for Bulls fans to celebrate all over the world. Michael, Phil, and Scotty a perfect 6 for 6 in the NBA Finals, taking their place as one of the greatest teams of all time. Let's go back out to Salt Lake City and get more post-game reaction from Jim Rose.
Well, Mark, we're here, I guess, attired very nicely now in the repeat the three-piece shirts, and we even have
doing the firing or whether a number of people have been taken into custody, but you do.
We've got a 99.
Which begs the question, which team has been baseball's most disappointing?
He had to leave.
We dragged about 15,000.
More rough stuff here. Lowe coming in high on Yarny. On the kick to the chest here. Set off some fireworks after this. A little pushing and shoving. Dion Burton gets a yellow card, and Julie, now it's acting time in the cup.
Lowe again, getting Super in the back. He looks around. Nobody saw me. I'm going down with this one.
I'm okay, I'm okay. I'm not okay.
Pleasurable experience, I can assure you that.
This year's
why right now is I've slipped around the corner into a janitor's closet, so if I sound like I'm getting a little claustrophobic right now, that's because I'm trying to peek out and stay out of the harm's way here. But the fans now chanting again. I can't see over the mask to see if it's a Bulls player or just a camera light because people love to cheer for the cameras. But again, the Bulls have arrived, and it was just a party here at the hotel. Even before they got here, I saw Bulls owner Jerry Reinsdorf, and I tried to grab him, sweating for an interview. He said he wasn't talking to anybody. He just wanted to sit back and enjoy this moment. I said, what about next year? And he said, we'll talk later. So it has been crazy here right now. And again, the fans spreading the fever over here. And I think a lot of the Utah fans have kind of changed sides here because I saw them wearing Jazz jerseys, but they don't care at this point. They want to celebrate the moment. The Bulls, 6 titles in 8 years. It is fantastic. And again, we're going to battle here, try to get back up live on the air to try to bring you what's going on. I have
downtown, it has been much this way, very calm, but happy.
Bulls know how to win. Bulls fans know how to celebrate. Being
right.
done all over the city, on the south side, the west side, at the United Center, north side as well. They're all over. They're still out there, and it's a school night, too.
It is a school night. Let's take a listen to Michael Jordan. We spoke to him a little while ago. We also have an interview with him talking about number 6 and how this is a bittersweet victory.
Oh, gosh.
Big time.
Well, it's rare for a news reporter to experience what you sports guys do, and I can't believe they pay you two to do this. This is incredible to be here at a moment in history like this.
Well, you know something, Mark? He's the only one that didn't get chance. Lock him and drag him in there and get him.
And that's it from the 3 Goobers live in Utah. Back to you guys.
Hey, Curly Moe and Larry, where's Larry Snyder in all this?
Larry Snyder is floating around here somewhere. You know how that?
So I said, doors open.
Medicine, that's always.
And if there's no objection.
I don't know how.
Man, Steve. And O. And
reach. Caitlin is.
That was too much.
Thank you, Mark.
Where do you go after the NBA Finals? Well, we can talk about some baseball. The Cubs looking to take 2 out of 3 games against Philadelphia. Kind of a letdown after basketball, isn't it? They didn't know what to expect, though, against 24-year-old right-hander Carlton Lower, who was...
He's due with the team, but it's been fun. and police probably will move in shortly and just kind of ease things away after these people are through celebrating. But right now, this diehard group is still enjoying themselves. Live from Division Street, Dick Kay, News Channel 5.
I think they're savoring it as much as the team did tonight.
That's right. There's a movie out called He Got Game. I think that applies to Michael Jordan pretty well. Let's talk a little game tonight with the guy on my right and the guy on my left. The guy on my right, of course, is Coach Dick Versace from the Milwaukee Bucks. Dick, welcome again.
Just thought I'd stop by, something going on here, talk a little hoop, you know. We've talked hoop before, lots of times.
That's right.
And our own Tom Scher joins us as well for perspective on tonight's big win. What do you think was the key? Was it Michael Jordan again pulling this team through?
Well, sure, 45 points pretty much speaks for itself. And if you also look at the way Jordan did not stop shooting when he had a clear shot. And Dick, you know, we saw him missing shots in that fourth quarter down the stretch. He missed some jumpers, but then when he was matched up on the kid, Brian Russell, he knew he could hit those, and he had 2 against him.
Well, Russell reached for the ball, and that allowed Mike to get open. But, you know, as I was sitting around the studio watching the game with all of you, everyone was like turning to me saying, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And I told you, if it's a seesaw game, then the Bulls have a chance.
Over the Cubs in the National.
We can't see them, of course, but if we do have them, it's basically an idea of a heavyweight fight. You had Karl Malone on one end, you had Michael Jordan on the other. It was bam, 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 back and forth, and it was clear that each one of those superstars was determined to go ahead and take the game, especially with Scottie Pippen out of action. Scottie Pippen wasn't a factor, so it really became mano-a-mano, Malone and Jordan.
And how about that second quarter sequence with the two of them up and down the floor, wrestling each other and going up and down? But hats off to you guys have probably said throughout the broadcast with Scottie's performance and what he was able to do tonight. All the questions over all the years about his courage, his ability to withstand pain. There were times he looked like Groucho Marx trying to get up and down the floor where he could barely make it. And hats off to him for the performance he put on tonight, just gutting it out. Same for Ron Harper as well.
Well, but the hats are, of course, going to be off to Jordan, because when it got right down to the short strokes, Jordan with 45 points, Malone with 31 points. The supporting cast, frankly, the Utah Jazz were able to support Malone better than the Bulls were able to support Jordan. The bench was non-existent in this series. Dennis Rodman had 7 points and actually had a couple of key tip-ins and a great jump shot, but on the video we're seeing Michael Jordan was the man, and even if he missed a couple down the stretch, he made the ones that counted. I mean, it's almost like, it's kind of eerie, Chris. You get so maudlin talking about this stuff. I've never seen heroism like this at this level in any other sport. I mean, you only see these things on the battlefield or in, you know, people lifting cars off of people that are underneath. I mean, you know, this is just phenomenal, this kind of heroic behavior.
And the thing that you were noticing about Michael in the fourth quarter is it went on, the shots weren't falling. He was
team could win 5 championships in a row, and you could have hauled that
little window of opportunity. The Jazz turned over a couple times.
It's tough to win in Chicago. Yeah, we would love to won it in Chicago, but for whatever reason on the road, you have a sense of united feelings, unity, and you know, I knew when we came on the road we had a better chance of winning this game than to win it in Chicago, because you had a lot more distractions. They had to deal with the distractions. We had to focus on the game.
Did it ever enter your mind that when you saw Scottie in pain, we don't want to go to a Game 7 here in Salt Lake City?
I thought about it for a quick second, and when Scottie was out and I didn't know if he was going to come back and play, you know, the competitor in me said, well, that means I got to take over a couple more jobs, you know, and I wasn't walking away from it. I looked at it as a challenge, but, you know, I looked at it in the sense that, you know, don't waste too much energy. Make sure you try to keep everybody involved so that they feel like they're part of the team. And if I have to count on them, if I have to pass it to Steve Kerr in the closing minutes, he can have some rhythm to make the shot. So it was a real touchy line there, not to try to take over too much of the game and keep everybody involved.
I noticed your hand. You had that shooter's hand after you hit the jumper on Russell. We used to do that in high school.
Well, if you look at all my jump shots up until that point, everything was short, and I was pulling on it. That time I made sure that I followed, and I stuck with it a little bit longer, and you know, it made things happen.
Could you possibly even entertain the thought of retiring without winning the final game of the season?
I don't want to think that way. You know, I want to think that, you know, whenever I choose to quit, that, you know, I'm leaving when we're winning and not when we're losing. You know,
but you couldn't walk off the floor having lost your last game, could you? The competitor in you, could you?
I could, because I have so many successes to have memories over, you know, so I'm not afraid of that, you know. I couldn't walk away from the game with people saying, well, he stayed a year too long.
Did you feel old out there at any time?
No. I felt good out there. When I'm out there, I feel good, and the adrenaline is pumping. I feel 25. I may look 35, but I feel 25.
Michael, it's been a pleasure to cover you. I get paid to do this, too. It's been a joy to watch you. And if you got some adjectives to describe you, if you come back next year, give me a call. All
Good luck on the baby.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go back to the studio.
Guys, thanks very much. How eerie is this? We're ready for Rod Serling to step out here in any minute. Michael Jordan's numbers in his last 2 finals clinching games are nearly identical. In the 97 Game 6 as well as Sunday, Jordan played the same amount of minutes, had the exact same shooting numbers from the field, shot the same percentage from the foul line, and yes, had the game-high point total in each game. Except last year in the series clincher, he scored 39. This year, number 23 hit for his other uniform number, 45. Kenny.
Sunday Conversation was brought to you.
Well-organized police there on the mounted patrol, keeping everyone within the confines of the Rush and Division Street area, making sure that...
Right here, and you can see the motorcycle police are trying to clear them up.
Oh, another cable got unplugged. That happens all the time when you're out there, when people get close in. Howard's being jostled, as you could see, and the cameraman is getting it even worse.
Pretty excited crowd out there, too.
Can you believe how many fans are out there?
Actually, it does our heart good, I think, but it is pretty amazing. Obviously, real loyal fans. And
note to remind you before we go tonight, after our newscast, they're going to show Inside Edition, and right after that, they're going to show the movie that we interrupted to bring to you tonight. Nowhere to Hide is the name of the movie, and we interrupted that to bring you the Bulls celebration.
You'll get to see the whole thing from start to finish, and you won't have to listen to us or the fans or the Bulls. You can enjoy it from start to finish.
Or our Goober outfits.
That's right.
You know, I like this, though. 6 championships.
Looks good.
It is so cool.
Very nice. And they were wearing them out there in the locker room already.
All right. See, I want to be like Mike. I want to be like the rest of the team, the fans. Hey, we're caught up in it, too.
We are.
It's exciting stuff.
We've witnessed history tonight. It's been exciting. We thank you for joining us. I'm Jim Rosenfield.
And I'm Cheryl Burton. I'm glad you were here with me tonight. Mark Shanowski hanging out with us on deck. It's been a great run for all of us tonight. Go Bulls. Bring on 7. Heaven.
Think about 7. Think about it. At least consider it.
All right.
Have a great week, everyone.
Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the celebration on Tuesday, everybody.
Good night.
Backs in, hops a running right-hand shot up and scores, and then went down and gets up. But he's in obvious pain when he runs. Kukoc against Adam Keefe. Fakes him, skips it across to Michael. MJ a 3. Kaboom! Drop down to Michael. He backs on Anderson. Ducks by him in the layup. Good.
Great move by Michael, and he went to the middle of the lane there with his quick attack.
Not there, backdoor lob. Michael goes up and scores. Tony Kukoc finding Michael backdoor. Hart back outside. Michael firing. Sticks another 3.
That's his 3rd of the game. And
Michael, top of the key. Whipped underneath. Pippen goes up, missed it, tapped it. No, tip in. Dennis is good. Michael against Russell. 12 seconds. 11. 10. Jordan a drive. Hangs. Fires. Yes! He scores! The Bulls lead 87-86 with 5 2/10 left. And now they're 1 stop away. Oh, my goodness. Russell looking. Got it to Stockton. Stockton, screen and roll. Lifts the shot. It is no good. Rebound back. Tapped. It's over. Bulls win the title. The Bulls are the world champs again. Oh, my word. Who would have thunk it? When Pippen went down in the first quarter, you had to think the Bulls might not even have a chance in a Game 7. But that's not the case. The Bulls win it. The Bulls win it. They win for the 6th time. Oh, my. And Michael Jordan, what a performance. Pippen showed all the grit in the world as the Bulls win it. Oh, man. Pax.
And Michael, I mean, what can you say about him? How many times in his career does he do this in big games where he assumes the burden on himself and comes up with not only that shot, but the game? We talked about it. He was capable of having a huge game in a clinching situation. 45 points here in this championship.
And here's a nice scene. Jerry Sloan came immediately to the center of the floor and grabbed Michael Jordan. And he, you know, you talk about one of the all-time competitors. You're talking about Jerry Sloan. And obviously his great ties to Chicago. But there's probably nobody, even though he lost, that can appreciate more what he witnessed Michael do tonight than Jerry Sloan.
Absolutely. And I give Utah credit, too. I mean, they're a terrific basketball team.
Class organization.
They played this series hard, and they were down 3-1. They had a huge win in Chicago, gave themselves an opportunity. But I'll tell you what, Michael, you can never discount what kind of effort he can put up on the board. And this game, a 45-point game in Game 6 when you're on the road, and a big shot
with him because he's my center.
Closed.
If man is the father, the sun is the center of the earth, in the middle of the universe, then why is this verse coming 6 times rehearsed? Don't freestyle much, but I write them like such. Damn, was it something I said? Pretend you don't see, so you turn your head. My wandering got my wondering where Christ is in all this crisis. Hating Satan never knew what nice is. Check the papers, well I bet on ISIS. What's love got to do with what you got? Don't let a wind get to your head or a loss to your heart. Nonsense perseveres, prayers linked with fear. Beware, 2 triple O is near. It might feel good, it might sound a little something, but damn the game if it don't mean nothing. What is game? Who got game? Where's the game in life? Behind the game, I got game, she got game, we got game, they got game, he got game. It might feel good, it might sound a little something, but the game if it ain't saying nothing.
Something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there. Yeah, that's right. Telling me I got to beware. It's time we stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
That's right, boy. PE, full effect, boy, until the year 2000, yo. What's that sound? Come on, sing it. Everybody knows what's going down. Sing it again, y'all. Come on. Hey. What's that sound? Hey. Everybody knows what's going down.
Might feel good, it might sound a little something, but damn the game if it don't mean nothing. What is game? Who got game? Where's the game in life? Behind the game, I got game, she got game, we got game, they got game, he got game.
And in. That's the shot.
If it ain't saying nothing.
Oh, say.
It's coming from the other side.
Bob, I mean, what he's done here in this 4th period, you see the 16 points, you got about a minute's left. And had to come back.
To the Chicago Bulls, the 1998 NBA champion, and a team for the ages. Congratulations. To look back on.
From him, weighing in at 217 pounds, his professional record reads 7 victories, 13 defeats, 2 draws, and 4 wins coming by way of knockout. He hails from Denver, Colorado. Here is Louis, the facelifter, Monaco. His opponent.
Bang. So they had Bear come down in a blaze tonight. Bear, I don't know what your real name is, but you are some mascot. Could you ask for more of a player than what the Utah Jazz and White got from Karl Malone? Karl Malone did everything. He put this team on his shoulders. He carried them Friday night. He picked up right where he left off on Friday. 20 points in the first half alone. The Jazz led 49-45 at the half. Boy, the Jazz, folks, there are no adjectives to describe what the mailman Karl Malone means to this team. Michael Jordan, he did everything. Michael Jordan in the first half, having to battle for every single basket. Nothing came easily. He would conclude with 45, but he was going to save his best to the very end. You're the referee. Who do you call a foul on? That's Dennis Rodman on the right and Karl Malone. Now, who are you going to call the foul on? Malone goes over Rodman. Where are we so far? No, we haven't called a foul yet. Who are you going to call a foul on? Look at the referee saying, oh, what a shot. Now, who did you call a foul on? On Malone? Wrong. The foul was called on Dennis Rodman. It's called on Rodman because he's Rodman. Look at his tattoos. You know they're going to call a foul on him, right? The final seconds of the game. There are just about 7 seconds to go. The Bulls trail 86-85. Michael Jordan loses Brian Russell. He pulls up for the patented jump shot, and it's good. It's the game winner. 45 points. The Bulls over the Jazz, 87-86. Their 6th NBA title of the 90s. The end.
Good morning. Has Michael Jordan played his last professional basketball game? Last night, Jordan and the Chicago Bulls won their 6th NBA championship this decade. And now the guessing game over his future begins in earnest today, Monday, June the 15th, 1998.
Chicago's O'Hare Airport this morning as Michael Jordan and the Bulls came home. It was very early in the morning, and security kept a lot of the fans away, so there weren't a lot of people there, but there's going to be a big celebration in Chicago Tuesday. We're going to be talking about all of this with Michael.
In the last seconds of Game 6 against the Jazz last night to lead the Bulls to a 6th NBA championship. Michael and the rest of the Bulls return to Chicago early this morning to get ready for their rally in Grant Park tomorrow.
Chicago's 911 center received about 4,300 calls after the Bulls win last night. Still, police say this year's celebrations were fairly calm. And in baseball, the Cubs lost to the Phillies 4-2.
A bittersweet title, though, because it may spell the end of the dynasty. And MJ...
A Bulls World Championship.
What a game.
Another one just to the west, so we're going to have a northeast wind today, keeping things kind of on the coolest.
Coming to you live from a...
Bell had done here was he had manslaughter. What he also did was get more dramatic results with players immediately.
The trophy's still in it. You can see it sitting there right in the front seat right next to him. Ron Harper will not let this go.
Y'all going live?
Yeah.
When y'all going live?
Oh, Las Vegas.
No, I'm going Las Vegas Wednesday.
Ron, did you have to convince anybody to let you keep this trophy, or did you just hold on to it?
No, I didn't have to convince nobody. I didn't have to convince nobody. I didn't have to convince anybody.
Is possession 9/10 of the law?
I stole it. I steal basketball, and I stole. I had a lot of people in my neighborhood came over. A lot of friends came by, and they wanted to touch it. Don't have no championship rings, and this is my 3rd. And
we go for the best seats in the park. Have you been to this before?
Even without their 2 stars and top-heavy from Bordeaux and Baguettes, the team slashed through their European challengers, but it did little to bolster confidence in their chances at a repeat. All but Scotty were in uniform in time to pick up their thumb jewelry November 1. Still, Chicago finished the first month of the season a mediocre 9-7. And to add further bad taste to the turkey, a simmering Pippen boiled over during the team's first long road trip, demanding a trade and promising never to play in a Bulls uniform again. Despite the distraction, the team pulled together without him, winning 10 of the next 12 and giving Phil Jackson his 500th career win 2 days before Christmas. No coach had ever reached the mark quicker, and strangely enough, Dennis Rodman was one to thank. Whether it was due to an incentive-laden contract or the phases of the moon, Wormy was a model of good behavior during the regular season. When Mavs coach Don Nelson sent a tomato can named Bubba Wells to foul Rodman 6 times in 3 minutes, Dennis calmly hit 9 free throws and pulled down 27 rebounds. It was mid-January before Scotty's foot and mood were well enough for him to return, and he helped Michael stave off a scare by Golden State. But just 5 days later, someone forgot to yell "Timber" when Derek Coleman fell on Steve Kerr, breaking the guard's clavicle and a little of Phil Jackson's spirit, who began to wonder if the championship karma was fading. February saw Michael play in what he called his last All-Star game in his favorite gym, Madison Square Garden. The retiring codger proved he can still get jiggy with it as well as any kid from L.A., winning his 3rd MVP award. He even got a bit nostalgic in early March, breaking out his vintage Air Jordans and blistering the Knicks for 42 points. But as always, the late season was not without bumps. They blew a 19-point fourth-quarter lead to lose to the lowly Mavericks on March 12. And after the rest of their hinders were chewed off by the coach, they managed to win the next 13 straight, launching themselves into the playoffs with the second-best record in the NBA. Another mantle decoration for Mike, his 5th league MVP award, and then it was back to the games that really mattered. Once there, the Bulls made quick work of New Jersey and Charlotte before one of the more tense and raucous Eastern Finals in recent memory. Chicago emerged despite Larry Bird's bench rookie magic, and all that stood in their way was the only team they could not handle during the regular season: those savvy, mature pick-and-rollers from Utah.
10, Jordan a drive, hangs, fires, scores! He scores! The Bulls lead 87-86. Stockton, screen and roll, lifts the shot, it is no good. Rebound back, tapped, it's over. Bulls win the title. The Bulls are the world champs again.
And it's pleasure.
Wonderful to see you. This is your story, of course.
My bosom chum. As we say, it's Channel 2, basketball first. Forget about the weather today.
That's right.
And film.
Gene Siskel.
What is Wennington taking a picture of?
Yeah, Wennington is taping. Yeah, he's taping the people in the condos. And get over here so we can talk.
Have to endure a restless summer to see if this, in fact,
this year as compared to past years as you approach the celebration?
It's just not that much fun. It's great. It's always great.
Last year you want to get on the bus and go to the park, don't you? Yeah, you do. Yeah. But I'm taking the new baby down as well. Riley right here, my 2-year-old. I'm just thrilled.
I knew you were going to get me that.
News 2 Chicago. Take another look.
Man Park, where the crowd continues to grow. This will be the largest of all time, I predict.
he's talking
nothing.
He says nothing.
Okay.
Hey, it's exact change only, Tony. Exact change only. Okay. Oh, come on, open it.
Michael's gonna play. Michael, you got the same cigar you had last year?
Not yet. I will be in a minute. Y'all can't get out of my car now.
What are you going to say? We need to know. We have to have a script.
I never have a script. I just said whatever comes to my heart.
7, 7, 7.
Raise your head. I don't know.
Michael, last year you said 7, 8, 9, 10. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Are you apt to say something like that again?
I don't know. I see what everybody else says. I'm usually last, so I get to listen to everybody else.
What's your $35 to $40 million according to the Tribune? You think that's enough and he should stay?
He was offered that much?
Well, supposedly he's going to be offered $35 to $40 million to stay for 2 years.
You should take it.
And that's 1 year for you, but that's pretty good.
Whatever he chooses, whatever he envisioned for himself. I think that's his decision.
You about it. What kind of advice would you give him on that?
You never play for money, but whatever makes you happy, whatever you think is a fair offer for yourself. And as long as he can still enjoy the game, that's the first and foremost. I mean, money's not going to determine if you enjoy the game or not, or you're going to play the game any harder. It's just a certain value that you feel that you have for the game or that you brought to the game. And I like to see Scotty get that, and no one knows what that is, really. And the number's not really going to be enough,
Michael, how
would his decision affect yours?
Somewhat, yes.
Your golf clubs are in the back seat. Are you going to be golfing after this?
As soon as it's over.
Michael, this is over.
And
Michael, where is it?
And what's your handicap these days?
I don't know. My handicap is I didn't play enough golf for the last 8 months.
Pronate the wrist, buddy.
Excuse me, I got a phone call.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Bye, good day. Watch your hands.
Okay, thanks very much, Michael. Appreciate that. And that is a semi-exclusive we have there.
MJ's career was truly about to take off.
After that '93 title, Jordan shocked the world by retiring from basketball. But he came back in March of '95, anxious for new challenges. And then the showdown with Utah for title number 6. The Bulls starting the series as underdogs, but Michael had other ideas.
I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I can fly. I believe I can fly. I can fly. I believe I can fly. I can fly. If I just spread my wings.
And this is the man of the hour, Michael.
Here, this wonderful thing. Take this one off.
At Harry Miller Appliances, we
brought so much flavor to the city of Chicago, along with head coach.
Somewhere out in Grant Park, and John Kerr is up at the Berto Center. Michael Jordan said
they should be there in about 35 minutes. It could get a little tight as they head closer to downtown, but they're just taking off as southbound and
Has been on the cover of Time. I thought he'd been on the cover of everything.
Well, not on the,
just about.
Not on the
Women's
cover
Wear
of Time.
Daily, not yet, I don't believe.
And of course, OJ.
In Chicago, it's the last dance, a victory celebration for your world champion Chicago Bulls.
And good morning, everybody.
MJ goes between them and takes it home hard. Tony Kukoc goes down. Wennington for the slam.
The red. Yeah. You know, you're not shooting the
Michael Howard. Scotty Divac over to double team.
Michael with it. And the foul. Yes, sir, and the foul.
Ball on the floor. Luke comes up with it. Finds Jason Cappy for the slam. Goes in the post up. Luke quick pass. That's a great delivery from Luke.
Michael. Oh, yeah.
He hammered that one down. Down low, MJ gets inside double punch. Underneath MJ, wow. Goes right by Oliver Miller. How about that? A twister, three. Rusty, let it go. Oh! Jordan clear. Michael. To win it. Michael will get it, fade. Look out! And it's partially blocked by Longley. Gets it back. Tony Kukoc. 4-3. Short. 2 seconds. 1 second. This is to tie.
You can't believe that one, can you? You better.
29 years ago, of course, it was Max Yasgur's farm in Woodstock.
Again here in Grant Park, but here we are.
What do you think?
Is a moment I treasure.
Established a brand new standard.
The Bulls
Bulls' latest pictorial captures the champs in rare moments off the court. Aside from the beauty of the pictures, the most remarkable feat was to work around some of the busiest schedules on the planet and actually get the project done. The photographs were designed to be gifts from Bulls players to the organization and to fans, and it was a project that photographer Barry Ells spent the past 3 years of his life working on.
Their lives.
It's just been a blast.
You got your third ring. How do you feel? Feel great. I think this is the.
On the way, so you're ready for this. Mind your own biz, 'cause I am back at the microphone biz. Music, go to school in the dip. Ready.
In this year that was built by Chicago Bulls are not just Chicago's. 1998, a round of postseason basketball that will never, never be forgotten.
For the Bulls. Harper into the slam.
Wennington, the reverse slam. How about that?
74. It's a long way from over. Great look from Dennis into Scotty for the layup. Just didn't get over the hit. 1-3 for.
Double with Divac coming over for the help. It's Kerr with a three. Scotty, the pull-up three. Got it!
Scenario. Because they hit a lot of that. Scotty. Oh, beautiful spin move by Pierre.
Michael to the hole. To the hole. Reverse. Lost the foul.
Though, as Michael slips and falls down and continues to play. Fadeaway jumper. That's it. By Michael. Here he goes. Ulster. Time.
Here's a 3-on-1 ready.
All right, now don't worry. We will catch up on that Utah series before that.
Bringing the Bulls back from 16 down. 19.
Traffic ever moves. That's the Irving Park exit right there.
Oh, man, they are way down there.
They're jamming.
And the two
bunch of what became a magical mystery tour when you felt like, no, this ball club.
One of its most eclectic figures. Dennis Rodman, the guy with the multicolored hair. Look at him grappling. And you know, they called a foul on him right there, but in reality, he took an elbow to the face from Malone there. And you know, I think even Karl Malone could sort of appreciate.
Score in their regards.
Oh, I can just imagine. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great, man.
I haven't seen you since last night.
Yeah.
Hey, imagine this.
She's got 2 boys already, and the daughter is coming. That's terrific.
And it's like playing blackjack against the dealer, and he's dealing. And when he goes ace-2, it ain't a push. You lose. You know, I mean, that fadeaway, the 2-step fadeaway, the boom, the bang, and then the fade, it's hard to guard that.
Jason don't want to talk. He's kind of mad right now. So
hell, you was checking him. Tell him he got 40 on you.
They certainly took the starch out of our sales coming down here and went in 2 in our home building. So we'll just see how we respond to that. We won the first, and we basically tied the fourth. It was those 2 in the middle that really got us.
I don't disrespect him in the sense of his capabilities as an offensive player or as a player in this league, as an elite player. He just chicken fights a lot on the defensive end.
You know what I like to see? I like to see Scottie Pippen guard Michael Jordan full court, like Scottie guards Mark Jackson, and see how long he stays in the game.
Scottie and I have had some great battles in practice, and he didn't get those calls either in practice. Well,
That's a good answer. I'm glad he retired next season.
Reggie Miller, who they know makes those kind of motions whenever you hit him, you jar him, you think you hit him with electric shock.
I think it's only fair that we get some calls as well.
It's us against the world, no matter how you look at it.
But I think we have earned the right to get a few calls down the stretch.
Well, we'll see about that.
I just told him to shut up and play.
The referees still suck. Thank you.
It's nice to get to win. I don't know what else to say. We didn't want to lose.
I'll tell you what, I won't do your job, you don't do mine.
Scotty, can you talk about the ability to get shared scoring by your teammates tonight as opposed to the other game?
Do we have shared scoring? We might have 37.
If that's what they consider to be dead, then I don't mind being dead for a little while longer.
This game here, we got exactly what we deserve, a good old-fashioned one.
You know, they were shooting three-pointers there at the end to see how they could bury you, and if that wouldn't get you ready to play, I don't know what would.
Everybody was anticipating a big shot on our side, on their side. You know, everyone thought I could make a shot, and that's the beauty of the game. You know, that's a part of the unexpected finishing of an NBA basketball game, and I thought that was cute, just thinking about it.
I think you have to say that Michael's a guy that comes through. He's a guy that always comes through in the clutch. He's a winner, and he's proven it so many times over and over again. How many times does he have to show us that? He's a real-life hero.
Stolen by MJ. Michael a steal.
With only 18 seconds left, Jordan dribbled down court, claiming once again the title he's won 6 times, NBA Finals Most Valuable Player.
Jordan a drive, hangs, fires, scores! He scores! The Bulls lead 87-86.
I had the ball in my hand, so he gave me the option to do what I had to do. And
says, no, I used that one already to win the slam dunk. Let me change up and entertain a little bit right now.
Is he going to retire next year? I don't know. But how fitting is it for him to make the last basket?
Fans can only hope there will be many more baskets to come. Mike Flannery, News 2, Chicago.
We'll stand in the sun. We'll raise our head. We'll touch the sky. Together we will dance in rows of gold. And we will lead the world remembering when we were kings. When we were kings. When we were kings.
Well,
there is nobody. Well, I don't know if you're there might be a few more people more excited than you for Michael Jordan and Dennis Rodman's arrival, but this, everybody, is Zeus. And if you doubt his name, check it out. I have to sit here up on a banister and prop myself up on a chair to talk to you. Zeus, you've been in 3, 4, almost 4 dozen movies in a very short period of time. You did Fifth Element with Bruce Willis, and you're a great friend of Dennis Rodman's and MJ's, and you're here today.
Yes, me and Tommy Ford's in town doing a play called Perilous Times. Tommy Ford from New York Undercover. And I'm just here to support Michael Jordan. He's always been good to us. We run into each other around the country. I was visiting my friend Deion Sanders, and he made sure we had tickets for the game when it was in Dallas, and he's always let me eat free. Now, that costs a lot of money to let me eat free at somebody's restaurant. He's a very special person, and his wife. And it's just, y'all really have a treasure, and the whole world would like to just share them with you. So God bless Chicago and the Michael Jordan fan and Dennis Rodman.
Uh-oh, it sounds like things are getting picked up. So are you going to be spending some time with Michael and Dennis during the rally today?
I'm going to say hi and say thank you.
I'd really be here shortly.
Yeah, it's really slowed down.
We're just getting to...
The massive reaction started towards us. You know, you could feel.
Wow. That's the shot Dan Roan has wanted you to see.
That's your ocean.
We have about 2 patches of green way in the back, and I hear they're sounding the horn as the Bulls approach. We'll let you guys take it down there and give you a shot of...
Johnny's a great guy.
Yeah, and he played...
Expecting.
I was talking to him in the hotel lobby.
His wife and his son and daughter. Might be his team next year. Tony Kukoc in the...
Guys right there who are at his side all the time.
All the time.
Got the stogie
There's
going.
Juanita right now.
Is on, folks. Scottie Pippen.
Sit back, watch, and listen.
Let's savor this one.
Here we go, one music video that got...
Of Shaking Up with Blues, the Bulls Brothers.
Chicago.
Let me introduce a local recording artist to sing the national anthem, Jesse Campbell.
By the dawn's early light, hot stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights. Rockets, red glare, does that star-spangled for the land of the free. And the home, and the home
Thank you, Jesse. I'd like to, of these victories, a man who will collect his second ring on the Bulls coaching staff Frank Hamblin. Bill Cartwright. Jimmy Rogers with 3 other championship rings, but 3 with the Chicago Bulls. Jimmy Rogers. A very important part of the coaching staff, a man who was with them since they started their charge for the victories, the designer of their offense, Tex Winter. I'd like to take you back, if we can, to courtside. Let me introduce the PA announcer, Ray Clay.
Hey, Chicago, how we doing? This team loves you. You love this team. All I want you to do is remember it up here and remember it down here, because it can't get any better. You know how this goes. We did this last year. You helped me out. So get ready. We're going to do it again. Are you ready? And now, your 6-time world champion, Chicago Bulls! A 6'2" guard out of Wake Forest, Rusty LaRue! championship trophy, the head coach of your 6-time world champion Chicago Bulls, Phil Jackson.
Chicago Bulls! The players and coaching staff have wanted to talk to you on a personal basis. I'm going to bring them up to visit with you. First, you have to remember that this team lost 6 times in the playoffs by a total of only 14 points. They won 11 and lost only 7 on the road in the finals. Let's bring up your coach and ask him about his feelings, Phil Jackson.
Say something to you, all right? I know you do. I know you do. But it's all right. You sit down and be quiet for a second, and I'll talk to you. First of all, we want to thank you for your support. Yes, sir. You've been great. Secondly, we want to thank our families back here. These people. All these people gave us tremendous support. My family and these players' families, we couldn't have made it without them. I'd like to thank my coaching staff. Bill Cartwright, stand up. There's Bill Cartwright, former captain, 3-time world champion, Chicago Bulls. Frank Hamlin, the mastermind against the Utah Jazz. Jimmy Rogers, statistician. He's the guy that put it all together for our defense. And finally, a Hall of Famer coach, Tex Winter. About a year ago, this last month, Jerry Reinsdorf called me and asked me, did I think we could do it again? I said yes. I believed in these guys. All these guys could come back and do this again. I believed in them, and I thank him for that opportunity. Thank you, Jerry. And I want to thank Jerry Krause for giving us the opportunity to do it. He had another plan, but he put it aside. Thanks, Jerry. I want to thank the co-captains of this team, Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. Yeah, they were the heart and souls of this championship run. Without Scottie coming back, we never would have got it done. And Michael loaded us up on his shoulders and carried us home. And this was our last dance, and it was a wonderful waltz. Thank you all.
One of the steadiest players on the Bulls, always there when the long-range shot seems to count, Steve Kerr. Steve, the Utah Jazz obviously have great memories. The memory of you hitting the shot to win the championship last year. They played you so tight in the last game, they wouldn't give you a shot. That's respect, isn't it?
Well, my story is not quite as exciting this year, but I'll share it with you anyway. When we called timeout, we were down 3 with 45 seconds left. I kind of thought to myself, this would be a great chance at a three-pointer to tie the game. And I mentioned that to Phil. And Phil looked at me with this disgusted look, and he said, Steve, let's face it, last year was a fluke. Get the ball to Michael and get the hell out of his way. So, that's what I did. You know what happened, you know the rest. And for what it's worth, I thought I did a fantastic job of getting out of his way. I want to thank all of you for cheering for us and supporting us all these years. It's been unbelievable to experience all this with you. I also want to thank our families behind us, my teammates, the coaching staff. It's been unbelievable. We love you. Thank you.
And now a guy that I always called Phil's last-second substitution. It seemed like every quarter or end of the game, this guy would find his way on the floor. He had big minutes against Utah when Scotty was hurt in the first half. How about Judd Bushler?
Well, it's been a pretty exciting week for me. To have a baby and win a world championship in 1 week doesn't get any better. I'd like to give thanks to my wife. She was the real champ this week. I want to thank all the rest of my family and the gentlemen you see behind me that made it happen. It was a fantastic year. It was a terrific run. And last but not least, I want to thank you, Chicago, for supporting us the whole way through. Thanks.
The next guy was a great help for the last couple of years. A wonderful baseline shot when needed. Let's listen to Wennington's World. Billy Wennington.
Wow. I got it all on videotape. Mike, maybe I'll send you a copy one day since you were so graceful and let me film you once in a while. But I want to thank my wife and my son who've had to put up with me at home, with my moods, and last couple of days, the jubilation that I've had. Most of all, I want to thank my teammates and the coaches who've made the last 5 years here in Chicago the best of my life, best of my basketball career. I want to thank all you people out there, and I want you all to remember what we have now and what we've done, you can't take away. So whatever the future holds, we have 5, 6. Love you.
It seems like every year Michael promises to get a ring for somebody. I remember when Darrell Walker was here, he got a ring for the Bulls. Frank Hamlin last year. This year, a new player. Welcome, Scott Burrell.
Thank you. I just have a couple of things to give out. I'd like to thank the fans and the city for supporting me and the Bulls. I'd like to thank the organization for making the trade to bring me to this great city and a great team. I'd like to thank my teammates for working me so hard to get me better and make me a world championship and get me a world championship. And I'd like to thank my mom and dad for producing the world champion, and I love them. Thank you.
The next guy comes from far across the water to join us. From Australia, Luke Longley. Now, Luke, you had some trouble with your knees during the season. Did the rest pay off for your playoff run?
My knees are fine. Everything feels great right now after what we've just been through. I don't have a single worry in the world. And we've got guys on this team from all over the world. You know where I'm from. We've got Croatians, Canadians, guys from all over America. But we all, when we go on the road, and obviously when we're at home, we feel like we represent Chicago. You guys have made it a great place for us to represent. Feels like home. It's great to be on top.
I can remember back in the Indiana series, I can close my eyes and see this, one of the most beautiful plays in a playoff. Coming down on the left wing with the ball, Tony Kukoc. He goes behind his back to Michael for the dunk. Tony Kukoc.
Thank you. As a waiter, I have only one thing to say. It's been a pleasure serving you, and hope to see you soon.
I don't know what went through your minds, but when Utah had the ball with 5 seconds to go, I sure would not want to have been this player. He had the job to try to guard John Stockton, and he did a great job. I wonder what went through his mind those last 5 seconds. Ronnie Harper.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank my family and friends, and my teammates, and the coaching staff, and all the great fans of Chicago. Thank y'all very much for this dream season, and if it was our last dance, it was a great dance. Thank y'all.
Well, I don't know if there's anybody in the NBA, any power forward as strong as Karl Malone. But we're going to find out from a guy that played against him. And also, I want to find out, what can we expect when you meet with Karl in the wrestling ring in July? Dennis Rodman!
They say this is a family show, right? Well, I'm gonna change this shit. All right, well, you know, I don't have much to say, but I like to thank the organization, Phil Jackson, and my little girl Alexis,
And I've always told myself I'll never, ever get married, right? I'll never ever have a wife. If I had to marry anybody, it'd be these 12 guys right here.
Team is playing for the championship, being very sick and hurt. I think if you look in a dictionary of courageous, you'll find a picture of Scottie Pippen.
Thank you. Thanks, Chicago. I just want to thank you guys for all the support that you've been able to give us, myself and the Chicago Bulls over the last 11 seasons. Really relying on us, giving us the opportunity to bring back another title. I want to thank all my teammates, the organization, the Lovables, everyone who supported us in the city of Chicago. It's been a great run. Thank you for our last dance.
You know, I must confess to being addicted to rosin by now. The 6th MVP this past season and the 6th MVP in the NBA Finals, Michael Jordan.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me say, I want to thank my wife and my kids for putting up with me through this grueling season. It's been a long, long season. I know a lot of people didn't think we'd end up back in Grant Park this year. Nobody knows if we're going to be in Grant Park next year. But the one thing I do know is my heart and my soul and my love has always gone to the city of Chicago. And I do know that no matter what happens, my heart and my soul and my love will still be in the city of Chicago. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your energy. I just hope and pray. I just hope and pray that we can have an opportunity once again to share this type of enjoyment in the city of Chicago. Thank you.
Your 1998 World Champion Chicago
The one thing we didn't see, no Jerry Krause coming up to speak, no Jerry Reinsdorf. I guess they figure we're going to get vilified, so why come and speak?
Yeah, I mean, that's just a question of safety. I mean, I'm sure that the city, I'm sure Jerry Krause, Jerry Reinsdorf wouldn't want to get up anyway, but we're talking about a safety.
Commenting on it, and right now Amy Stone is live at the Bertels Center. Let's get her word on the deal. Amy, what's happening?
Well, actually, the Tribune is reporting that the
Jordan clearly leaving the door open.
Oh, you got to leave the door open. And everyone else giving the last dance song and all that. The fat lady has not sung, as far as I'm concerned.
You cannot tell me this gentleman right here in the red golf shirt wouldn't like to coach this basketball team again next fall.
Well, I think so. I mean, we can do all the posturing and talking and everything else. I can feel that we're going to try to get these guys all back, at least for one more round.
Fans now rhythmically waving their arms back and forth. A moment for...
And Dan, just as Michael is the guy who delivers the championships, Michael, you're saying, is the one guy who might be able to keep this team together.
Who else would it be?
Yeah.
Scottie Pippen said after the champ, think they can...
For example, who?
Well, George Karl, for one. George was let go by the Seattle Supersonics. He's a North Carolina guy, a guy who's very serious about the defensive end of it, which is...
You have to keep in mind with him, he's not getting into problems with the police. He's not, getting into problems with, abuse, drugs, and guns.
Rebounded by Michael Jordan. Frank Johnson, not the man that the Suns would have wanted to take that shot, and then Jordan is able to go the distance. In the middle of the floor. Well, Pippen got the step. Here's Paxson for three. Yes! The Bulls take a one-point lead. Oliver Miller plays it. Here's Johnson. Johnson gets, no, he could not get it off. Knocked away by Grant. It's all over. The Chicago Bulls have made it 3 straight NBA championships. Checks the clock, 5 on the 24. Here's Jordan. Did not have the shot.
It's all over. The Bulls have won the title.
Malone is doubled. They swat at it and steal it. Here comes Chicago. 17 seconds. 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship, and it's their 2nd three-peat.
Wish I didn't miss all the other ones. Okay.
Too short probably would be your only criticism, right?
Yeah, that.
The basketball, I like the players, and
Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman would be given from people, fans. We'd have sculptures waiting in the bus.
How many more miles?
Ever since you started traveling, it's been like this. You're left hanging with no...
Start of every night and every day. In your eyes, I get lost, I get washed away. Just as long as I'm here in your arms, I could be in no better place. You're simply the best.
We now
exactly what happens before it's all over.
One of the things Dan Rowe and I were talking about earlier is why this rally.
Both games are tight. Grabbing points like they grab a Sprite. Game action like movie stunts. Banners.
Is near, be it after tonight, after the season, or after next season. And when it's over, he told me what he wants to do after basketball.
Nothing. Just whatever my mind comes, whatever comes to mind. I think that is very unique, and I'm very happy that I have that choice to do whatever I think about doing at that particular time. If it's playing baseball, or if it's playing basketball, if it's playing golf, or it's doing nothing.
He can do whatever he chooses to do, and that's what makes him so great, because he can do whatever he chooses to do on the court, too. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, it's been our pleasure to watch your magic.
Fox Sports Chicago continues.